Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation. I like that. I did that on purpose. I did that on purpose when he can't be on camera. Yeah. Good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation, I'm having noodles.
Not now, son. I'm making toast.
Buttering toast.
Bacon toast.
Buttering toast.
Yes.
Hey, Popo, can I use your
Bacon toast.
magic carpet? Making toast. Fine.
That's why you couldn't get there fast enough.
Nimbus. Ding.
Ding.
Butter and toast.
There we go.
Butter and toast. And other training.
From a
All right,
potential
Maggot, here-
rapist, but I won't ever
listen
say
up.
flat out.
This is the pecking order. There's you,
You.
the dirt,
Dirt.
the worms that
Worms
live in the
inside
dirt.
of a dirt. Popo stool. Call me. Then Popo. Any questions?
No. Then God, then Popo.
No, yeah, call me.
No. Kami was the Piccolo's. Are they
No,
twins?
Kame
No,
House
Kami-
is the one
Popo
with the
stool,
turtle.
Call me, then Popo. I'm not involved in that at all.
Kame was Piccolo's dad, right?
Hmm.
Well, no, Piccolo's
No,
dad
No,
was
that's right.
Demon
Or
King
the
Piccolo.
uncle.
Yeah, that's right. And he fucking died because Goku fucking shot through him.
Yeah.
Piccolo Jr., as we call him. I guess he's more of the
He's
uncle
big, he's
Kami?
green, he hatched from an
Sort of.
egg, he's a Yoshi.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
he
half
just calls himself
nephew,
God,
green.
why doesn't he?
fucking dinosaur.
Just prick.
Nail! I'm going to change my name.
So there's
You must
Kami,
call me Super Kami Guru.
there's Kami, there's Popo, and then there's Menu.
What about Dende?
We know the pecking order.
Super
Little
common Dende.
green.
Where's Dende on the pecking order?
I'm gonna
That's
call you
not
Big
very
Green.
nice of you, little green.
He
Call me
took
that
the
again,
place
I'll
of
snap
Kami.
your neck. The voice of Kami?
No,
No,
he took the place of Kami.
Oh, that's right.
Kami
yeah.
merged with Piccolo.
Piccolo, yes.
That's right. To become
And
strong.
made.
Ironically, I
Popo
didn't find out
smile
until
again.
later that Dende was voiced by Taka.
Oh,
Really? Yeah.
I didn't know that actually.
Oh, I knew that from day
Mala
one.
Chica boned.
Although I didn't
Dragon
start till
says
after
he'll give you
30th.
3.
I like. Okay, so they just did. By the way, they just came back with commentary. They started back up.
Yeah, I just finished. Actually, was watching that earlier.
They started up the commentary stuff again. I watched it yesterday. They did Kai 1 and 2, and the part where he said where Frieza's demanding that he gives him immortality, demands that Purunga gives him
You,
immortality.
I'm a dragon.
Yeah, it's literally "fuck you, I'm a dragon" in reverse.
In reversed.
Good.
I love
I think
it.
they even
know that.
have that in the subtitles. They updated that.
Is nuke. All right. Anyway. Hey guys, you remind me of some
Shenanigans
assholes I'm
aside.
about to kill.
Or commentary of episodes.
All
of other
right.
shows.
So, that having been said,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen of the congregation,
We are gathered here today.
to witness the destruction of this poor council.
Yay!
Because Rimuru about to walk in, look at these poor fools as they try to lay down the laws of humanity on his monster nation, and then Rimuru's just gonna look at them, smile, and go, "That's cute. Now let me tell you about how I am the Senate." Like,
I thought it was going. Is
wait, no, he
Rimuru
doesn't
about
say
to look
that.
like
The
Frieza
Senate
up
will
in here?
never allow this.
Oh, that's right.
am the Senate. I am
That's right. He
Lord
doesn't spin until he
Frieza.
says it's treason. Then he goes.
It's-
"Wah."
yeah, exactly. It's
That's
treason.
good.
Then no. Except it's a little bit different. He goes, "It's treason." Then and then Shion goes, "Wah."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or Ranga pops out
No.
of the
It won't be.
Is
It
that
won't be
how it's
Ranga.
gonna
No,
be?
it's Shion.
No.
It's 100%
Shion? 2 or 3 more. 2 or 3 more. 2 or 3
2
more.
or 3 more. 2 or 3 more.
2 or 3 more. 2 or 3 more. Dude, I would absolutely do that.
I kind of want to make a reference with those 3 now. Just have the voice actors in the bridge do that. That's kind of funny.
I'm stealing that now. I want
Yes.
to do that. I want to grab
Stealing
those
it.
sound.
You're
I want to go to those
welcome.
sound bites and just be like 2 or 3 more. 2 or 3 more. 2 or 3 more.
2 or 3 more.
All right,
Can we
you
just
three,
put that?
do
Can
this.
we just put that up as a TikTok or a short or some
Yes.
shit?
That would
Be
be
like,
great.
Yes,
Yeah,
100% yes.
all right, you guys are saying yes. The person that I'm having to ask in my mind is Scott.
Scott.
Because we're stealing Team
Scott,
4-Star's
Pretty
shit.
pretty please.
I was like,
Oh.
all right, so
Well, do you have a way to contact him? Just ask him.
yes,
You probably do.
It's called
Yes, I have
Twitter,
a-
I assume.
yes, we have a way to
Hmm.
contact him.
Yeah.
No, he's only voiced for like multiple projects of ours. Yeah, we have.
He
a
was
way
the
to
king
contact
in
him.
Log Horizon.
Okay.
He was also the evil Baron in Shield Hero.
Mm.
Dude, I'm super surprised I didn't contact anybody really in Team 4-Star to get them to voice in Slime. It's the one project I was like, just for some reason, I don't know why, I didn't
Yeah.
go like, hey, I want to put these guys in this. You know, these
Hmm.
talented people. I should have them voicing our shit.
You're saving them for later.
No, I'm really not. I'm just a moron who didn't remember.
You're waiting for some new rules to pop in for them to really populate. But no. Just totally forgot about them.
I mean,
Mm.
listen, you could have them be the king of farming us.
You
farm
don't,
us.
no. See, you're thinking about this. All right.
He pulled a Toriyama.
I want Scott to flirt with everyone.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I want him
That'll
to
be
be. I want him
amazing.
to be Guy. I want him to be Guy
That'll be-
Crimson.
Amazing.
I know I had somebody else in mind to be Guy Crimson, and now I'm like, you know what? I kind of want Scott.
You know what?
I kind of want Scott.
Are you
for
gonna
that.
make? Please, are you? Oh, I can. The flamboyant? No. I don't know.
No, come on, man. We'll let
No,
Scott.
that
The
seems
beautiful thing is, like, I want to work with him. I was like, all right, Scott, just be flirty, McFlirterson. Get like pull up like a book of like really bad flirt lines. Let's see how much we can make Leon cringe.
That would be great.
Mm.
And then one of them
Like,
just like,
I
look,
take you
guy
to the
looked up
movies.
a
Like
book
let's
of,
just
like,
go.
flirty lines.
Let's just grab a book of terrible pickup lines. Let's make a blooper reel. Come
Oh,
on,
Guy's
baby.
Hey,
just really
Did it hurt
old, okay?
when you fell
He's
from
just
heaven?
I'm a demon lord.
I literally.
There is one that I saw that was like,
And I was literally summoned from another world. You know that's not possible, you son of a bitch. Joke's on you. I'm into tons of shit.
Not
Yeah.
pounds, tons.
mhm.
Taka would be a great Leon. I technically already voiced Leon, but
Okay.
I've said that for season 2, if we got to the point where we could do season 2 financially, I would happily recast. Because I don't like I want somebody else to be Leon. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation, please turn to page 195 of the physical edition. It should be the part with the great sage saying report someone with relevant knowledge.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I was gonna
So
say, I thought it was
Kendall, what is that?
Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
You didn't have it ready already?
No, it was there. I just had to refresh the page.
Oh. I was like, bro,
I do
you're my
have it,
first
but
reader.
I zoomed in on.
Yeah, report someone without the relevant knowledge that is on page approximately 224,
Okay.
or about 54% of the way in. So
We're about
Yeah.
halfway through this chapter.
Yeah.
That's
On
Mhm.
Bookwalker, that would be 212.
Thank you. 'Cause
Mhm.
I never remember the word bookwalker.
Okay, so it still says the same page.
Bookwalker.
I was like, what's the other one that we use?
You know, the walking of books.
Hey, Bookwalker. We promote your shit. Please sponsor us.
Pretty please?
I mean, Amazon. ain't
I
gonna.
literally pay for it. Maybe.
We can probably get Audible.
Maybe pay for it.
Audible.
Ooh.
Yeah, Audible would probably bite.
Uh,
So
Audible. We improv our whole shit. We're constantly calling it Audible.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Bye.
Unfortunately, I will be here all week. So
Unfortunately.
unfortunately,
Oh,
unfortunately
I
for all
literally
of
live
you,
here.
I will be here all week.
Oh my
So will we.
God.
Little do the people
Hey,
know that when the
Leon,
stream is
are you a
over, we
Muppet?
go into like a stasis mode where we just completely shroud ourselves in the dark
Yeah.
until we come back on Mondays.
I live in a dark, dank,
Yes.
shimless world from like
Shimless world.
Tuesday through Sunday. You know,
Oh, you too?
right?
Yeah.
It's nice to know when I
Also,
go in stasis, there's
it's a
someone
terrible-
else
it's
who's
a
experiencing the
terribly-
same thing I am.
It's a terribly shimless world out there, man. It's
Sounds
cold.
like a terrible
hard-
B movie.
It's
I just
it's
imagine,
cold.
though,
It's dark. There's no shim to be had.
It's a hard shim life. All right. It's a
Until
hard
Monday
shim
comes
life.
and the sun comes
All
out,
Until
right?
until Monday comes, and then it's like
You're like,
Monday.
Get to see Shim again. Yay!
that's nice.
I get to
I'm
I
glad
get to cry for
highlighted
two
someone's
reasons.
week.
I get to cry for
God.
two reasons. I can watch the
Mhm.
I'm gonna watch an episode of The Last of Us, which most likely is gonna make me cry. Thankfully, this week
The
did
hit
not.
comedy series.
It did not. It did
No.
not. It was a
Thank
good episode.
goodness. It was a
Mhm.
really good episode.
It was the first episode that I thought was just good and not amazing. But that's I mean
That's
it
still
wasn't
okay.
it still wasn't a bad episode. It just wasn't amazing.
Was
They
it
don't
like
all
a
have to be 10
setup
out of
episode,
10.
or are they setting up for something?
It's the first half
Kinda.
of a two-parter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the and then Shim, you know,
Yes.
tears of joy because Shim. All right,
Thank
so
you. I'm glad I'm the highlight of someone's week.
yay.
Thanks.
Report. Someone with relevant knowledge would not understand what happened if they witnessed someone being shot to death. There is a potentially high chance someone near the victim is suspected as the killer.
Among Us.
Among Us.
He
Among
vented.
Us.
That's it. That's what happened.
Ah, fucking brilliant.
I don't know. That
oh,
bitch
wait,
with the
I'm-
gat is looking kind of sus.
I don't know, man.
Jim
Yellow
Shim
was
over
in.
there is looking kind of sus over there. Where were you during the meeting?
But Yellow has a kid. There's no way that they would kill people in front of their kid.
I don't know. Blue looking kind of sus. Rimuru. What the fuck are you saying?
Good.
That's racist.
Then it must have been
Slime-
red, Benny
slime
Maru.
among-
I was nowhere near there. What do you
I've
call
been
it?
in
Slime
Tempest.
Among Us.
It's like Betty Maru. I've been in Tempest the whole time. Like, God damn it.
He also is like,
Does anyone know how to
Then
do
it
the
must have
engine
been
room
white.
task?
Wait,
No,
who's
no.
white?
They're like, then it must have been pink. Shuna, how dare you? Like,
Shuna would be a pretty good killer, though.
like,
I would
fucking,
have never suspected
fucking
her.
beautiful.
Just as soon as
Would
she's
never
accused, it's
suspect
like,
her.
folks. Sorry. No, no, no.
I
Especially
guess
because
it-
she's the
well, I
one
mean-
sitting there all like, "Ooh, I would like to use that weapon," and everyone's just concerned.
Well, I guess it could be purple, but I'm a good boy.
Oh,
He's
no,
the,
that's
no,
not
Ranga
Shield.
is the character
I
who
thought
just
that would
likes
be
doing the
Shield.
tasks.
He
That's
is.
it.
Which
He
if it
just
was
likes doing
Shield,
the tasks.
it
and
would-
Even
finds them fun.
here's the thing, he can
dare you.
probably be the
Yeah.
imposter. He's the imposter that just does all the tasks.
Yeah, he's just
He just keeps doing the tasks
Yeah.
even when he's imposter. That's Ranga.
Like,
Mhm.
Ranga, you're not
Good
playing
boy,
the game
Ranga.
right.
Thank you, Master.
You're supposed to kill people when you're the imposter. But how about
I like the funny mini games.
He doesn't know that. All right, Shim, it's your turn.
Right. That word of caution from Raphael sure came out of nowhere. What did it mean? Somewhere near the victim. Oh, right. If someone right by me got assassinated, I'd be a prime suspect, wouldn't I? That did make sense, and since Hinata was so closely involved with me, she probably wouldn't be allowed to testify on my behalf. If the killer got away and the weapon was never found, there was every chance I could be framed for murder. That was close. I could have fallen right into that trap if we didn't have this little chat. Not that I knew whether a trap was in place at all, but if Raphael was on the lookout, I'd better assume there was.
Choo choo.
Either way, well, sorry, what's up?
Choo choo. Pod train. Somebody followed. Thank you for the
Oh.
follow.
Cool.
Woo!
Thank you.
Pod train.
Oh, either way, we'll all have to be real careful at tomorrow's council meeting. I don't think that. Oh wait.
Oh.
I don't think non-magical lead bullets would do much more than sting if they hit us, though. I don't see cause for too much alarm," said Shuna. "No, I wouldn't underestimate it like that. Like Hinata said, higher caliber weapons are more of a threat, and for all we know, there may be magic-infused bullets out there. Plus, if anyone got shot in the middle of the conference, I think people would point their fingers at me first.
Yep, I was just about
I worry about that as well. I will station replications around the council and stay on enhanced guard, said Soe. That's Soe for you. He must have reached the same conclusion without me pointing it out. What a handsome man. Right. Thank you.
What?
Of course.
Once again,
Sorry,
once
sorry,
again, I mean,
Huh.
just proving that Rimuru is a very pansexual slime. You know,
Mm-hmm.
He gives
I trusted he could.
apparently being good at
Yes.
your job makes you hot. You know,
I mean,
makes
Oh
you
no,
attractive.
he's hot. We're fucked.
Oh no, he's hot.
yeah.
No, he
Just
I trust
imagine
him.
him naked.
I mean,
What?
No, he's hot.
just imagine him in his underwear. Yeah.
Oh no, he's hot.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Like,
I
imagine
trusted-
doing that with Eddie. Who would be the one character that you could do that? Like, okay, I can
hate
actually
every
do this
single
now.
one of
I
you
can,
right now.
fuck him up now.
Please continue with
You
the
imagine
story.
that with any of the characters.
Okay. I
Please.
trusted he could handle any suspects he stumbled upon. With that concern addressed, I went back to the main topic. So, Hinata, why are they calling me here anyway? I still hadn't heard exactly what would be discussed tomorrow, although I had my hunches. Ramirez and Veldora thought it was about a dragon causing trouble or a mystery demon lord rearing his ugly head, or some other nonsense. It wasn't any fairy tale junk like that. They wanted to see if they could accept me as one of them, and based on the 4-star treatment I was receiving, I expected some good news. Well, the resolution to let Tempest into the council passed at the last special session. At the regular session tomorrow, you'll be asked to sit for a Q&A before they officially enact it. Bingo! Those fools could spout off all that nonsense because they were oblivious to the truth. I was smart to ignore them. Oh, really? I was expecting as much. I nodded, as if I knew everything in advance, as Hinata gave me a doubtful look.
Report. Based on the current situation, there is no other potential possibility. The subject, Hinata Sakaguchi, is believed to be thinking, why that act? At the moment.
Huh? So, sneering at her just made me look stupid, huh? And sure, I didn't have any doubts about this, but I had my guesses about what they wanted. Like, what if they asked about my Magitrain ideas or the request to sell the weaponry Kurobe showed off? Or what if they interrogated me about which countries were asking us to reveal our research results? There was a pretty broad range I could picture, which gave me a headache. But Raphael was confident this was about Tempest's admission. I wish it could have clued me in earlier. With a nervous cough, I took a sip of coffee. Hopefully I covered myself well enough. Regardless, it's still not official yet, so try not to do anything dumb, alright? And I think during the Q&A, they'll probably ask you some tough questions and try to get under your skin as a demon lord. Don't fall for their tricks, okay? I wasn't sure I covered myself at all, but Hinata didn't seem to care either way. I guess it'd be trouble for her if I screwed up the meeting since the Holy Empire Lubelius was supporting us and all. It'd make them look terrible. Thus, she was focused on giving me warnings, first and foremost. How unsettling. I have the patience of a saint. Nobody could anger me that easily. Oh, you're worrying way too much. Unlike you, I know how to deal with adult social situations. Huh. If you're picking a fight, you know I'm game anytime. No, not like that. See? There's the difference between Hinata and me. The way she so readily flips the switch. But getting her any angrier would be bad news for me, so I closed my mouth, a little fearful. But you do have a point. They're giving me all the bombast of a royal guest, so I am worried that they'll want something from me in exchange. You've been looking into that too, right, Soe? Yes, and I do have some information along those lines. Beyond that, it'll come down to the motives of the royalty involved in this affair, as well as what their subordinates think. Right. I'd appreciate it if we could talk that over later. Yes, Sir Rimuru. Not him and me, but him and Raphael, really. But there is one thing I'd like to ask Lady Hinata. What's that? I thought we were done here, but Soe had concerns of his own.
Concerns?
He had deployed his... Yeah, I don't know why I put the emphasis on concerns. But,
Emphasis.
Yes.
Emphasis on the
Yeah,
wrong
emphasis.
syllable.
Yeah. He had deployed his team to the 4 corners of the globe, looking into matters. As they investigated the shadowy committee running the Western nations, they were also gathering information on each nation they visited. I was used to rely on them by now whenever there was something I wanted to know, and knowing Soe, he must have heard something relevant some relevant rumor by now. It seems that several ministerial level government officials from around the region are attempting to take advantage of our nation. Their aim is to have Tempest serve as a defensive wall against the Eastern Empire? Yes, exactly, Lady Hinata. She had guessed it before Sully could finish. She must have had her finger on the pulse of it too. So, if war breaks out, they want us to help them? Because right now, the only obligation we have is along those lines is to Bloomend. Is that correct? Benimaru, for his part, concluded from his own analysis that Soe was worrying too much. He smiled at him, and I'd say he was right. But the real issue lay elsewhere. Hinata probably realized that as well, and judging by how worry-free she seemed, she must have reached the same conclusion I did. Plus, in my case, I had Raphael predicting the future for me, so I could trust in that. If Hinata agreed with me, that just sealed the deal, so let's check on that. Benimaru's right. Our only treaty along those lines is with the Kingdom of Bloomend, but even apart from that, I don't think we need to worry about the Empire. So, or could I ask why you think so? So I questioned, apparently quite worried. He always was serious-minded like that. To his mind, or to calm his mind, I decided to lay out the conclusion Raphael led me to. Well, first off, it's important to think about things from the Empire's standpoint. If the Empire tried to attack the Western nations, what kind of strategy could they devise for that? Their goals for the attack were also key, but let's put that aside for the moment. If they wanted to wage war, they'd need to select an invasion route. There was a path straight through the Forest of Jura, a harsher one over the Connaught Mountains, and a potential sea route. The old trade passage dating from before our highway system, and while it depended on how large a force the Empire sent, there were issues with every option. The sea route was a challenging one. It was the most direct path to the Kingdom of Farmus, but once you left the shores and went into coastal waters, you left yourself open to the large sea creatures that called them home. You'd be sailing right into a nest of over A monsters, and even a large fleet wasn't guaranteed to make it through safely. Even the spear tuna that was such a delight at our dinner banquet was a tough foe to face in open water. If one rammed your ship at 60 knots, or nearly 70 miles per hour, it would easily tear a huge hole in your vessel. But even a steel-sided ship couldn't breathe easy because among the creatures in the ocean, a spear tuna was still on the small side. These creatures lacked intelligence, but brutally attacked anyone who dared intrude into their territory. There wasn't a military vessel on this world that could take a ramming from their 30-foot-long bodies and stay afloat. Thus, only merchants with an intricate knowledge of safe sea routes dared to cross the ocean. So, what about the Connaught Mountains option? Well, that involved traversing a hellscape known as the Dragon's Nest. Dragons are willing to let a merchant caravan go by unharmed, but something bigger, say a large army, was a great way to invite their wrath upon you. They weren't human, so negotiation was out of the question. If they mistakenly decided you were hostile, it was all over. These dragons were led by a powerful dragon lord, and if they had you in their sights, they'd pare down your army well before you had a chance to fight your war. If you won, then
Basically,
fine.
you cannot cross the mountain.
Yeah. But, yeah. If you won, sorry, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh,
coming around
good.
the mountain
Yeah,
as they come.
yeah,
cannot.
We'll be coming
You
around
cannot
the mountain as
pass.
we cannot come out of the mountain.
If you won,
No.
then fine. If you lost, the whole world would laugh at you. And even if you did beat those dragons, you had the Western nation's forces waiting for you on the other side. The feature presentation, in other words. Besides, a military march through rugged mountains was an ordeal in itself. The path only opened up in the middle of the summer anyway. When the snow and ice settled down to those frigid peaks, all the magic in the world wouldn't get you through. No, any strategist who hadn't lost his marbles would avoid this route at all cost. Thus, the only choice left was through the Forest of Jura. But the forest
Callie from
is
the
a
Valley.
territory. Oh, yeah. Hold on a sec. Well, this is a mini line. The forest is the territory of a demon lord, and that's me. And there's Veldora too, right? Yeah, and now that the whole world knows of the Storm Dragon's awakening, the Empire can't afford to make any funny moves. They feared him even when he was still banished, so right now they're essentially frozen in place. Exactly. He had spread the news that, like, Veldora destroyed the entire Farmus army, and, like, the Empire heard about that quite some time ago, I'm sure. Like, any ambitions they had along those lines must have been fucking shelved by now. Like, out of the picture.
What
The
a
Empire
bunch
had
of
fierce-
pussies.
Yeah. A bunch of... What's up?
This is the only one that everybody's getting. We've got a lot to get through, so as of this moment, any voice requests will be rejected
Gotcha.
because
The Empire, like, had feared
a
Veldora.
lot to cover.
Yeah, it's a good chunk, but...
Yeah, sorry.
The Empire had, like, feared Veldora for ages, and that fear, like, made them too careful for their own good. If they had acted sooner, they might have just wiped us out for all I fucking know. Anyway. But now Valdora's here, and Valdora was chiefly why Raphael assured me we were golden.
Report. That was a prediction, not a conclusion. The situation is constantly changing. If I obtain new information, I will need to factor that into my assumptions.
Wow, what a worrywart. But that was fair. Working on bad assumptions can lead to some serious pitfalls later.
I know this
It's
is
true that-
nudie. All right.
Raphael
Look
Bobby
here,
coming.
look here, motherfuckers.
Time out. Hold on.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, motherfucker.
Hold the fuck up.
All right, look here, motherfuckers.
Let me bring you the facts.
Let me just go ahead and dead all this shit real quick too, because like just suddenly just shit tons of stuff. God fucking damn.
Holy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
I was like, what's he looking
I
at?
saw the
Oh.
first one, and then I'm now looking at it all like, oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
no.
Good.
Oh yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
We're up to
Hi.
probably like 20 or 30 of each already.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just sorry, guys. Rejected all.
Rejected.
Yeah. You're not there. I don't have the time to go through, and I don't have the time to go through and individually pause everything, but there are no channel points that are going to get redeemed. None of this stuff is getting redeemed. You could turn in that stuff. It's just going to get rejected at the end of the show. We're not doing that stuff tonight.
I got time for that.
I'm way too tired and I'm not feeling that great. I will probably throw up. So no,
What?
not doing
Yeah,
that.
that's fair.
So.
Probably funny for them, but not.
If
for
you
us.
don't like it, fuck you, go somewhere else. And that's me
I
being
like you
polite.
guys, though.
And that's me being as polite as I possibly can. I'm sorry. I appreciate it, but yeah. That's as polite as I'm gonna get on this one.
Well, thank you, though.
We appreciate the enthusiasm that you guys normally have, but today's just not a good day for that, physically speaking. And we've got so much shit that we're trying to chew through. It's like
we probably would need the time that we would put for exercising into it.
yeah.
the
So
actual
we're probably gonna go over what our normal time would be, over into like the 10:30 time, my time. So
Oh, to get the chapter done.
just to get
Okay.
the chapter
We've been
done.
going
so.
to like 10 your
Okay.
time, 8
I'll
my
go-
time lately.
Well, I tried to cut us off at about 10 our time, but like the
Mhm.
exercises took us to 10:30 last time.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, no,
Mm,
not dead that shit.
okay.
Because we got so much to cover. Let's go.
All right.
Speaking of,
It is
Anyway.
true that the Empire is making. Oh, sorry. Did you have more to say?
No, we're good.
Okay, gotcha. Is it true that the Empire, or it is true that the Empire is making some ominous moves? The shadows I tried as familiars have proven pretty useless, so I was thinking we had better conduct a more thorough investigation soon. However, Soe's time was already occupied with exploring the Western nations underground, and members from Team Kuriyami were carrying out their own missions as well. About all that he could do was send out shadows, low-level apparition creatures that ranked at D, but could use shadow motion and thought communication, making them perfect spies. On paper, at least. Unfortunately, they were too weak to penetrate the barrier that protected the Empire. It was hard, however, to send over anyone stronger than them. If I was deploying people to places with unknown security situations, that limited my applicant list to those Soe could vouch for. And if I detached any of those people from their current missions, that would hinder my orders. Soe was talented, but not omnipotent. Even after his evolution, he could only deploy up to 6 replications of himself at once. Those were the trump cards he used to carry out the dangerous work I always sent him off to. He needed to leave some on tap in case a battle broke out. So if I sent any of those to the Empire, I'm sure he'd worry over who would be left to guard me.
Okay. No, Spider, to answer your question, we're probably still going to get off topic, off track, and have little commentaries, sidebars about what is being read and have our own little inputs and opinions on that stuff. It's just, we're going to interrupt ourselves as per usual, and that's going to delay us enough as is. So I'm factoring that in when I made my calculations. So
it's
Yeah.
Raphaelations, if you will.
see,
The
so I had to prepare for these kind of nonsensical non sequiturs. So yeah, I like that nonsensical
Empire's-
non sequiturs. Yeah,
Good use of alliteration.
yeah,
yeah.
those are nice.
Yeah,
The
magic
Empire's
bullshit.
move.
It's true.
Oh my
Magic
God.
bullshit. Random bullshit. Go.
We love magic bullshit here.
Sorry, I'm
Magic
reading
bullshit.
who's
It's
speaking.
true.
I have to go further ahead. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
The Empire's moves really aren't being looked at that seriously, though. It's more of a cover story, an excuse for letting Tempest into the council. That's being spread around by a few of the louder representatives. But if you're that concerned, Sir Soe, I could conduct some investigations myself. Ooh, I see that Hinata, like Raphael, doesn't like trusting her own thoughts too much. I always knew how wary she was, but seeing that in action, I kind of had to admire it. I could learn from that, in fact. But now she's volunteering to help investigate, huh? I might as well take her up on that.
Report. Please ask her to look into the armed nation of Dworgen as well and see whether military activity is possible within its underground cities.
Raphael never wavers, does it? Now it's trying to work Hinata to the ground, too. But that made sense to me. The Connaught Mountains had some paths that led into the Dwarven Kingdom, the territory of Gazel. I couldn't imagine the Empire could do much with those roads, but it'd be worth looking into just in case. Could I ask a favor when you do, Hinata? What's that? I kind of like you to investigate the structure of the Dwarven Kingdom, I think. Right. The Dwarven Kingdom's a city crafted from a cave underneath the Connaught Mountains. That could be a possibility, too. You act so careless, but I really can't let my guard down around you, can I? Ha ha ha! Right? Alright, I'll look into the Dwarven Kingdom as well. I wasn't sure what prompted Hinata's admiration, but fine. I thought Raphael was carrying on about nothing, but there's no sure thing in this world.
It's like he's an
I was
idiot
just thinking
savant.
An idiot savant.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one side of him is
He's
an
the
idiot.
drunken monk of Raphael.
It's like
That's what
it's
he
like
is.
it's like one side of him is an absolute idiot and the other side is a complete savant. It's just
Again,
unfortunately
drunken monk of Raphael.
the savant-
Because it's
the
like
s-
he gives the demeanor of, oh, this man's a fucking idiot, but
But when
Raphael's
it
sitting
comes
there
down
being
to
all
it-
like, no.
All right, so ask her to do this. Ask her to do this. Oh, yeah. That's actually really
That makes
intelligent.
sense.
God fucking damn it. Why is your dumbass asking me to do really smart 4D chess moves? What the
Raphael's
fuck?
like, why are you the protagonist? I should be the protagonist. I get shit done.
I wish I could just take over
No,
this
you're
body
the-
sometimes.
You're the background behind the protagonist. I'm a show, but you do all the work.
Hey, when
Jeez.
you think about it, man, it is a woman's voice that he's hearing in his head. So behind every great man
Is a finer. Yeah. Never mind.
Yep.
is a very strong and intelligent woman.
Although, doesn't she? I think. you said
Raphael, can I
something
get
about-
more savant and less idiot?
No amount of
Although-
magicals is gonna fix that.
Damn.
I think you said that
Damn.
Raphael's gonna get like a
Damn.
physical
Burn.
body later on,
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's see.
or something like that. I don't remember. What
Okay.
Raphael's gonna stay. Raphael's gonna stay Raphael for at least another 4 volumes.
okay.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
We
I'm
got some time
beginning
then.
to learn.
Wait,
Then-
what's above
then-
Raphael? Fucking
Wait,
Saint Peter or
wait,
some shit?
No. Here's what happens. The idiot names the savant.
Oh. Oh.
Raphael's just like, I'm
Oh,
done.
yeah.
Gives Raphael a
Sometimes-
name?
Yes,
But Ra-
he names his goddamn skill.
That is stupid. That is
I
so
didn't even-
stupid.
Can
And you know
do
what?
that?
And you know what?
I
It
thought it
causes
was already named.
it causes the skill to evolve even further.
Oh my god.
I didn't know you
What
could
the
even do
fuck
that.
does he name
Okay.
it?
Yeah,
Master,
yeah, literally.
senpai?
No, I
Like
love this.
some
I love
could
blah
benefit
blah
from
blah.
Johnson's
They finally names the first stray. Also, thank you, Sharp. Thank you, Sharp, for the follow. We appreciate it. Hey.
Thank you.
Hey.
And
Are you
become
a
more
stray?
broken. Ain't that
Hey,
true?
are you a
Hey,
stray?
are you a stray? Would you like a name? Well, boy,
Well,
can
then
I
come
help
on
you
down
out.
to Tempest.
Come on down to Tempest. We got names for days.
Next thing you know, there's just gonna be like
Names
creatures
for
lining
days.
up outside of his house.
We have
Can I
names
have
for
his
days.
name?
We have names for Daves.
All right, if you give me one go,
Names
I'll
for
name you.
days.
Wait, Raphael, sort of. Hey, are you a straight? Sort of. What? Oh, don't you fucking. Like, that's the most amusing pronunciation.
By the way,
of my
I'm
name
gonna
yet.
name
Blah,
you.
blah, 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 blah.
I'm gonna nickname you Fardo. I guess
Fardo?
that's my name now.
No.
I name-
Forever.
As
Oh,
far
what
as
if-
I
what
could
if-
guess, it's Bug.
What if Rimuru named Little Green and he told him Dende?
Dende. I know.
You sound like a Mirelurk from fucking WoW.
Dende, I'm gonna call you Little Green.
Your
He
funeral.
evolves into the
My
I call
name
you
is
Big
Dende.
universe.
Little Green.
All right, anyway.
My parents
That's
are
a very
dead.
nice little green.
No, Big
That's
Green.
literally that's literally referencing a Batman meme.
Yeah.
Oh, the little green thing.
My
No,
parents
the
are
my
dead.
parents are dead. The
Oh,
yeah.
smacking
my parents
Robin
are dead.
thing.
Yeah.
The my parents are dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my parents are
Mm.
dead.
Yep. That's what that actually
Cowabunga.
is referencing. I love that. My parents
Mhm.
are dead. Oh, like, oh my fucking god, I love that.
Apparently, going back to that real quick, I do know from.
I'm trying to
so I just
remember.
watched earlier
I
today.
can't remember the name that he gives Raphael, but yeah, he gives
Michelangelo.
No, no, it's not one of the turtles.
Masters.
No.
Well, okay, well, you
I think it's Seal. C
Oh, like
I
C-I-E-L?
Yeah, Seal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that.
Oh.
Been kissed by a
Stop.
rose on the grave.
Stop.
I like that song.
You can R right out of here. Anyway.
All right.
You
So we
anyway,
carefully went through. I mean, what?
I wasn't finished.
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't done interrupting you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
See,
God,
okay.
wait your
Wait
turn.
till he finishes his interruption. God.
Yeah, God, wait your turn. I was busy interrupting you.
But I
God.
was
Sorry to
interrupted
interrupt your
first.
interruption.
We have fun here, guys.
We have
Oh,
fun
yes,
here.
okay, you didn't freeze. I thought you froze for a second.
All right,
Yes.
so anyway.
I do
Yeah.
remember with the
Silence
with
when
Kai,
I'm
there
interrupting
was
you.
One bit. There was
Silence
one
is
bit
golden,
in
but duct
Kai
tape is
that
silver.
Yeah.
we were
Mhm.
talking
Get
about.
some
I
duct
think they
tape.
were also referring in the. It was in the same
I'm into
Kai
that.
episode.
I don't know if he can hear.
where-
Can he hear me?
Windows Vista.
I can.
Something about Vista? What?
Oh God.
Raphael,
No.
I'm gonna name you Windows Vista. No.
No.
Oh shit.
Oh no, that's so
Wait.
sad. All right, so yeah, he names him
alright,
Seal, and it's at this time. By the way, the naming happens right after Rimuru has gotten his next major significant power up.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
So that's
He's already pretty
after he
fucking
absorbed
strong.
Veldor, right?
Yeah, where he goes from Demon Lord to basically Dragonoid. Yeah.
God
Dragon Lord.
almighty.
God, yeah. It's
Next thing you
fucking
know,
crazy,
Rimuru
yo.
just sitting there be like, oh, I'm a literal god. Not like her. I'm just like,
Oh, I'm
you know,
gonna name you.
I made
Well,
another
I'm gonna
planet
name
over
you
there.
Windows 7. Your funeral. God damn.
PD.
What's wrong with Windows 7? You know how to work it and everything. I can find everything there.
It's not fucking XP. It was like, yeah.
Okay,
Well, how would
fine,
you
I'll
like?
give you
No.
Windows 11. Well, hold on. Now.
Okay, hold on
No,
now.
I'm imagining
Okay, sure.
Raphael would be like, I'm more of a Linux person.
You know what? I tell you what. Bitch, I'm
Windows
Opera.
10.
Opera.
But the real question is, does he have access to Space Cadet pinball?
Here's my real question.
Ah!
Or
I
Minesweeper.
remember that
this-
shit.
Is this
Yeah.
because he's like, I'm gonna name you Windows 7? And he just looks up. Is this because I just named you Meta that one time? It's like I called you Meta that one time. It's Facebook. It's Facebook, and everybody knows.
Wait, is
it.
that why
Meta.
do you think they read the slime novels like, what if we renamed Facebook? Do you think it would be stronger?
I doubt that.
To be fair, Raphael was going through a crisis. No, that's later.
Wait, was it
Oh.
going through a mid-ware crisis?
No, it wasn't. It
Mid
was going.
firmware crisis.
It was
Yeah,
going through a
midware.
software crisis. No, not
Mm.
midware.
Yeah.
They're a company. All right,
At least you get the joke.
I'm done interrupting you.
Okay. So we carefully went through the rest of our discussions, talking about closely held state secrets and other vital affairs in the early afternoon cafe space. We had a magical soundproof barrier over us, so nobody was going to eavesdrop on our conversation anyway. Skills can be so useful like that.
No shit.
Hinata was, yeah, I mean, fuck yeah. Hinata was kind enough to brief me on a few other things too. It seemed like a lot of people wanted to take advantage of us, and not just for military purposes. Humans, after all, were suspicious folk. I should know. I used to be one. That's why what Hinata told me made so much sense. I just want you to know, all right? There are people out there trying to use and abuse you, so don't let them shoehorn you into anything.
Oh, I remember.
to.
I was once a germ like them too.
Germ. Parasite on this world.
Parasite on this. They're a parasite on this world. A disease. A sickness. And those
What does a
humans. They're germs. And that's why we refer to all of them as Germans.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, moving
I had to accept that as correct.
I'll see myself out. Yep.
How many are there?
It's okay. You can
9?
stay. You live here.
That there's a real knee slapper.
Slaps me
Ow,
on the knee.
my
Slap
old
knee 9
knees!
times. And something jumping
Oh,
happens.
go climb a flight of stairs, old man.
Fuck you.
You gotta make it 9 specifically in every
Enemy.
German joke.
Climb,
I had to
No,
accept
no, 33.
climb those stairs.
30.
He knows why.
an infestation. Yeah.
I'm fucking 40. I'm fucking 41 with military experience. My knees are gone.
What knees? All
Exactly.
you have is just 2 stumps.
You can get cybernetic enhancements though. Then you could be really fast.
Not
Awesome.
until
We can
you're.
rebuild
I
them.
think it's
I'm sorry,
the age
I'm
is 50 or
sorry.
52.
I'm sorry. You think I can afford that shit? I'm a
That too.
broke ass veteran.
I didn't say that they had to be good enhancements.
The government is not going to pay for that shit. I can't
Yeah,
even
that's
afford.
true.
I can't even afford the cheap shit.
Served your
You
duty.
would probably classify that as a cosmetic thing.
Can't even afford the cheap shit.
That's a
Or a vital
cosmetic
thing to
upgrade.
help
What
you
do you
move.
mean cosmetic upgrade? I literally
I
need to
can't bend
walk.
my knees.
An infestation. All right, moving on.
Yeah. Anyway.
Back
Well,
with-
in terms of your military, what's up?
Nothing,
Oh.
just
I had to accept that as correct. Whether I would listen to that advice was another question. What do you mean use and abuse me? Well, in terms of your military at the very least, that's something I'd want from you too, and that's what you want to see, right? As she put it, one condition for joining the council was that we'd be responsible for management of the entire force of Jura. The member nations were unanimous on that, since we'd function as a bulwark against the Empire. I got no problem with that. With fewer monsters out there, I'm sure we'll see more people challenge the labyrinth. We do want that, yeah. Better not freely admit it so much. I've had to deal with a lot of heads of state in my time. And let me tell you, they're clever. They might even ask you to station troops in their countries to keep monster damage down. Normally, allowing foreign troops to stay in your nation wasn't the kind of thing governments like to see, but as Hinata put it, in a world where monsters were a universal threat, leaders wanted to retain as much war power as they could. Many of them weren't afraid to use other nations' troops for that, including the Western nation's Temple Knights.
proposal. You could deploy troops to their nations to create an obligation to you.
If we were recognized as a nation, it made sense that we could deploy our army to foreign lands as a peacetime maneuver. If something came up, that'd make it easier to exercise our military authority. My home country back in my previous world took that strategy a lot. Oh, I see. That's not a bad idea, actually. Why don't I let them use us? Or why don't I let them use us? I can't say I like letting them think they're taking advantage of us, but yes. It's essentially giving influence to our nation, isn't it? I grinned as Benimaru and Soe voiced their agreement. Shuna kept up her own smile, and I suppose her lack of complaint meant she agreed. And if we were all on the same page, that meant I could do what I wanted tomorrow. Why are you all looking so sinister? An exasperated Hinata asked. Guess she's reading my mind again, but she didn't say anything else, which I took as her tacit approval. That marked the end of our lunchtime discussion, but before she left, Hinata brought up something else as if she had just thought of it. Oh, right. I think there's also a group planning to do something stupid at the event tomorrow, so be on the lookout for it, okay? Once again, she warned me not to lose my temper or lash out at anyone. What she meant, I suppose, is that the council wasn't a monolith, and I should treat everybody there as one and the same. Eesh, why was she so concerned about a pacifist like me? She didn't need to say it, I understood just fine, so I told her she was worrying too much, and we left it at that.
And here
The
we
next
go.
day. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said, "Oh, and here we go," because now the shit begins.
Does-
The shit hath hitteth the fan.
The fan. Yeah.
Honest.
The next day came. We were heading over to the council's meeting hall. Benimaru, Soe, Shuna, and me,
Tee
all
hee.
in suits and looking sharp. Teehee.
Actually, wouldn't
He
it be
goes
like
without
the
saying.
slime hitting
well.
the fan?
No,
No,
No.
he's not poo-poo.
no, because the nobles are doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
The
shit
nobles are
hitting-
fucking up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It goes without
They're
saying that all are.
underestimating.
Fast
They
games, we're not
are,
doing
though.
voices tonight.
I think they
sorry.
got all the power, so yeah. Thank you for the points or the point redemption, though. It goes without saying that all our weapons were in my stomach, so at a glance, it would have looked like we were all unarmed.
Awesome.
Hinata had given me her full briefing, so I didn't have an iota of anxiety. Maybe a few counselors wanted to take advantage of us, but on the question of my admission to the council, all my worries were behind me. If I was recognized as a friend to humankind here, that'd be one step closer to the ideal society I had in mind. A world where man and monster coexisted and shared in one another's prosperity. To borrow a phrase from Murin, a monster and man cooperative alliance. On the monster side, we already had magic-born dwarves, elves, and more living with one another. That alone had already resulted in a massive new economic sphere. But as an ex-human, I really wanted to reach out to them as well. But humans, they're greedy. It's all, what do I get out of this with them? And they're willing to shut out their own countrymen just for thinking the wrong thing. But that greed helps them improve their lives too, and it's the engine driving all sorts of new and expanding entertainment. They weren't simple to deal with, not like monsters. Better avoid expecting too much here. I couldn't assume this would go great from the very beginning. When I reached the council hall, several counselors were there to greet me. They were from our border nations, and based on what they heard from the Founders Festival participants, they wanted to forge friendlier relations with me. I sure appreciated all the compliments, and I responded in kind, figuring it best for the future. They started smiling at me, the ice now firmly broken. Oh, I heard you were a demon lord, Sir Rimuru, but what I didn't hear about was how much of a sociable leader you are. I would certainly like to maintain a friendly relationship with you going forward. No, the pleasure's all mine. I've got a slate of events in mind going forward, so if you're interested, please feel free to attend. I got the idea that they were still a bit too leery to attend the Founders Festival. Now, though, they were being downright familial with me. All that effort from Rieger and Molima and the others must have been paying off. Now I was feeling really good. Hinata gave me all sorts of doom and gloom yesterday, but I guess I really didn't need to worry. The next person to greet me sent me straight into depression. People, quit bothering Sir Rimuru. Counselors from tiny dots on the map with hardly anything to them shouldn't be occupying his time of day. Or his time all day. Indeed, all this rudeness may give Sir Rimuru the wrong idea about our council. So please, remember your place and leave him alone. My little entourage was promptly chased off by a group of representatives who acted like they owned the place. I wanted to ask who was being rude here, but I held back. So he told me via thought communication that these people were from nations with some clout in his council. Every representative was allegedly equal, but that wasn't really the practice. That was shown perfectly well by these people who took it as their prerogative to lord it over their peers. There was definitely a pecking order here, based on their on your social standing. Right, Sir Rimuru. I tell you, you'll never have any constructive conversation with people like that. Yeah, thanks. And what would you call constructive? I really didn't want to deal with these guys, but I decided to play along. Heavens be! I suppose you may not be picking up on the hint, Sir Rimuru. Ha ha ha. It stands to reason, I think. Sir Rimuru has never had to do a noble etiquette before. But don't worry, we'll teach you everything you need to know. A simple question, and already they were answering me with stuck-up laughter. It made it seem so natural that I couldn't even tell if they were being deliberately malicious. A bit overly familiar, perhaps, but it beat being feared, I think. By the way, Sir Rimuru, I hear you've been busy crafting a great deal of interesting things. Yes, they say you're considering a Magitrain system, for example, and let me tell you, my nation would be more than happy to be a part of that. Or a part of that effort. Ah, yes, precisely. And the same is true with mine. We'd be happy to pitch in. Of course, we'd like a little, in return.
Stock-ups.
Sure. So this is what jaw-dropping means. Rude ain't the half of it. I went lightly because these are presumably nobility, but that was a mistake. I must have really given them the wrong first impression. But I was on their turf. I needed to hold back, or things could easily spiral out of control. Broad mind. Given all my grandstanding to Hinata, I couldn't get riled up here. Well, we need to put rails in place before we can run any Magitrains. We've already created an order for our layout construction, so I'm afraid I can't take any more requests right now. Ah, no need to worry yourself over such details. I will gladly arrange matters with my government, so if you could give us some priority with your delivery, that would be quite fine. Something told me he had no idea what a Magitrain was. He'd never seen the real thing, after all, as if that weren't bad enough. He was also completely ignoring my own priorities and throwing thoughtless one-way demands at my feet. But, again, patience. No. As I said, there's an order to this. But as I tried to bottle up my anger and turn him down, the demands just kept piling up. Then perhaps some other product, then. If you could arrange for some weapons or armor, we will be happy to buy it. Of course, don't forget to compensate us for later. The bearded man in front of me, representing the Duchy of Lakia, was a particular eyesore. He was not so stealthily demanding a bribe. I figured if he had somehow forgotten, or I wondered if he had somehow forgotten I was a demon lord. The nations adjoining the Forest of Jura were exposed to monster threats, but these more inland nations enjoyed total peace and security from them. That's why they prospered so much, I suppose. And maybe they just didn't see a demon lord as that big of a deal. But this was still an awful way to approach me. I felt like an idiot for even giving them the time of day. Also, may I inquire as to what kind of education your agent Molly Mile has? I asked my officials to have him open some business channels, but he's been rather evasive about giving me a reply, I hear. Would we be able to work out with someone else instead? Or work with someone else instead? I wanted to yell, "Shut up!" at him. If this was the type Molly Mile dealt with, then I was inadvertently putting him through a lot of pain. He always seemed to brush them off with ease, but some officials are more stubborn than others. I had a lot to learn from him. I'll look into that, I replied with a smile. Such a lovely turn of phrase. I'll look into that, indicating your interest in getting the job done, but offering no firm timetable, freeing you from the obligation to actually do anything. The secret weapon of elite office staff everywhere. That was the brilliant strategy I deployed. Bluff my way through, then pretend the conversation never happened. Ah, good to hear. We'll look forward to our future matters then. And now we'd best be on our way. Don't be shy about offering your lineup now. We can talk anytime. That phrase deftly shooed all those fools away. Now that's how an adult deals with matters. If you want something, go buy it yourself. That's what I say. Ah, certainly. I look forward to that. I lied as I saw the representatives go. What a pain they were. I had no obligation to give them any... Oh, what's up?
Actually, the funny thing is, the guys from the smaller nations were actually a hell of a lot more polite.
They probably had to be. They're being dicks to everyone else. They're just...
Called modesty.
But, yep. I had no obligation to give them anything. It'd be much surer for us if we just sold our wares through the Free Guild. At least they didn't demand bribes. A few other counselors approached me as well, and I gave some quick greetings before moving along. Any long conversations here seemed likely to get me in trouble. It was still morning, and I already was being a bit testy, but at least this was good experience. If I caused any problems before the conference even began, there's no telling what kind of tongue-lashing Hinata would give me later. I decided to accept things as they were as we entered the hall. Should you have let them go like that, Sir Rimuru? I can't believe you forgave their flippant behavior. Benimaru turned to me the moment the attendants guided us to my seat. He held back before, following my lead, I suppose, but I was ready to vent back at him, but Soe and Shuna beat me to the punch. Don't expect Sir Rimuru to act like you. The bleating of little minions like them would never be enough to disturb his mind. Exactly, my brother. Sir Rimuru has a heart as broad as the wide-open sea. It would be foolish for him to engage with a common crowd like that. Sure, that's what they say.
Yeah.
He's so beautiful.
Oh, he's so dead wrong.
They wouldn't give him the time of day. Sure, that's what they say. I guess I'll just have to play along. Yeah, something like that. Benimaru, if you let that rile you, you've still got a lot to learn. Of course, I was angry on the inside, but Ashuna and Soe were kind enough to misread my body language for me. I had to work with it. I spent a few more minutes lecturing them on the finer points of interacting with humans. The seats were laid out in a fan shape with us at the base, where the chairman would normally be situated. This put everyone's focus squarely on us. One desk and one chair. My associates had to stand behind me. The chairman emceeing this session had moved to a safer seat on the second mezzanine. Mezzanine?
No, mezzanine. You said it correctly.
Mezzanine? Okay, gotcha. I say safer as compared to us. Being a demon lord must have put a lot of people on their guard around here, and having all their eyes on me made it terribly difficult to collect my thoughts. So the meeting was formally brought into session, but that's when hell really began for me. I was trying to be shrewd, as haughty as my post demanded, but I couldn't lose my temper either. I had to hold it all in, listening to everything the counselors said. Hinata clued me in on the agenda before I came here. First, on the subject of Tempest joining the Council of the West, the representatives were debating on the sort of conditions to impose on the deal. These could be broadly divided into 3 demands. 1, adherence to international law. 2, access to our economic sphere. 3, provision of military power. Number 1 was no problem to me. If we became a member, we'd have a duty to follow the law, big or small. The council didn't have any right to be involved with the internal laws of other nations, which eased my concern. Each individual merchant would have to follow the rules of whatever country they were doing business in, and if any problems arose, they'd be resolved following those laws. Got a problem with that judgment? The merchants could file a complaint with their nation's embassy. Depending on how that turned out, it'd either become an international issue or the merchant would have to give it up. Frankly, I liked that system a lot more than what I saw after the Founders Festival. It established an international legal framework to preside over cross-border issues, complete with an international court and a judge from a third-party nation. In fact, that was part of the council's role in this nation, with representatives recusing themselves as a legislator debated issues involving them. Nothing too tricky about it. Of course, to keep things fair, we needed to enact and announce a body of law for our own nation. That was an issue, but I had good old Raphael on my side. It had a full grasp of laws from all nations, and it used it to perfectly cover all the bases as it defined our own set for us. We already sent a copy of that to the council, so all was well. Should I keep going? It's 8 o'clock.
No, it's Moon's turn.
Gotcha. Just making sure. Pass the potato.
Make sure I'm on the right one. Providing access to our economy. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Providing access to our economy presented a few issues. Given the lack of patience or patent in this world, the trend was for whoever produced the best copy of something to win all the marbles. Before that, however, there was that heavenly army that attacked whenever our civilization got too advanced. An army of 1,000,000 angels descending from the sky and razing our cities to the ground. That's why the Western nations had no gas or electricity, not even steam engines. But that didn't mean life was difficult. We had magic, and by extension, magic-driven items. Our attire didn't lose out to Japan at all, and while the transport of fresh goods was out of the question,
Foods.
our nations were good at food and storage. Fresh
foods.
foods. Okay,
Yeah.
might be. Good at food storage. There was excellent magic being harnessed for building construction, leading to some very impressive work. I'm not sure you could replicate some of the castles and other standout projects with modern Japanese technology. So everyone's core needs, food, clothing, shelter, were being fulfilled, and life was actually pretty pleasant in the cities. So what's the problem? The problem was that between Vester and Gabiru's presentation and Kurobe's weapon and armor exhibition, word about our technology was starting to leak out, as shown by that bearded guy from Lakia asking about Magitrains. Yom and Murin were commanding large groups of workers, of course, so this was expected. I didn't mind if people knew about our stuff, but I did mind the people who tried to steal it. Or really, trying to steal it was one thing, but now you had people like the Lakian guy trying to make us build a railroad and calling it a business transaction. Lakia should share in this first. How could you be so thoughtless, Sir Rimuru? How could you be so thoughtless? Sir Rimuru, the Republic of Zamond has far more worthy of is far more worthy of serving as Tempest's closest partner. Order! Now is not the time for debate between member nations. You're simply baffling Sir Rimuru. If the white-bearded chairman hadn't stepped in to quiet things down, we might have been bogged down forever. Open markets in themselves weren't a problem, but I wasn't expecting an obligation to share all of our tech. If they see us as some kind of international handyman for them, I dreaded how they might try to use us in the future. Now I saw why I had reason to worry about the things I did, and despite how depressed I already felt, the conference was still dragging on. As for the third condition, a military power-sharing deal, we'd need to have some debate on that. Following Hinata's word of caution, I had Soe do some more research for me. We know there were people who wanted to tap into our war power under the name of military cooperation, but the same was also true for us. Tempest would be responsible for managing the Forest of Jurub. The proposal was for us to handle monster-related issues. And I was fine with that. That much I predicted from the start. And it worked better for us. Even in my discussions with Hinata, we agreed that Tempest would handle Jura defenses, while the Crusaders covered things in the Barren Lands. My nation would cover the bill for this monster defense, which I'm sure the Council loved. After all, if we wanted to keep the economy running smoothly, world affairs needed to be kept stable. Nations wary of the Eastern Empire no doubt appreciated our defensive power as well. Not that I expected it to happen, but if push did come to shove, we'd be there on the front line of it. So yes, Council definitely wanted to take advantage of us. That's why I needed to be sure we could do the same in return. We would defend the Forest of Jura. That was a given. But the smaller nations also wanted to use our excess capacity to help protect themselves. There may have been fewer monsters venturing out from the forest, but they still couldn't defend against unexpected monster intrusions. Some flying monsters were particularly dangerous, and the nations could afford to cheap out on their defense budget. But there were patrol soldiers and monster hunting adventurers to pay, and if the council didn't cover the cost, they'd have to make up the difference with taxes. Even worse, if they had to wait around for the free guild to show up after a monster discovery, they couldn't prevent damage before it happened. Nations that had Luminism as their official religion enjoyed regular patrol visits from the Crusaders, but there wasn't an infinite number of them. They had a huge amount of terrain to cover, and I'm sure there were times when they were simply unavailable when needed the most. That's where we came in. Each nation could pay us a defense fee, and then they'd be free to use us however they liked. At the same time, though, they'd be relying on us for national defense, so they wouldn't be able to ignore us any longer. It'd be a display of power for Tempest, and a way to expand our influence on the Western nations. The money they'd pay us would also strengthen our position. 2 birds with 1 stone, really. And what if the Empire really did attack? Then, for better or worse, Tempest was right in the middle of their invasion route. If a fight couldn't be avoided, it'd naturally be well advised for us to shore up our rear support. If they accepted our defensive forces instead of fearing us, we couldn't ask for anything better. If we wanted to make this work, there needed to be an absolute, overwhelming difference in war power, enough to make other nations think they could never beat us in a war. It'd be ridiculous to entrust your defenses to another country otherwise. And if we could make the Western nations take a "if you can't beat them, join them" stance with us, our mission was as good as accomplished. As each of the representatives gave us demands and played interferences with one another, the chairman completed his preamble. "Those are the conditions placed upon the admission of the Jura Tempest Federation. Lord Rimuru, do you have any objections?" I had better give him some, or else I'd be consenting to everything. I could ignore the counselor's inane commentary, but I better not commit any oversights with these conditions. I wanted to take advantage of these guys, but unless I could bind them down with a treaty, I was wasting my time. Isn't this the kind of thing we work out on paper first, then get a chance to debate on? That annoyed me a bit. What if I couldn't give them an instant reply in this session? I assumed this was another way of harassing me, but I had Raphael with me. Considering all the oral arguments and using my own hands to write them down, talk about omnipotent. So I had my friend think about the issues and come up with this rebuttal. "Well, I've considered all of your conditions and prepared a list of my doubts and alternative suggestions for each one. If you can accept these, I have no reason not to go forward." I handed the documents I had written up to Benimaru, who took them to the chairman. He accepted them, looking a bit overpowered by him. "Whoa!" I had agreed to the general outline of conditions offered, but I had changed a few of the stipulations to ensure I still profited, even if they took advantage of me. Raphael was kind enough to mark out all the sections to change for me. So, unlike an oral agreement, everything was set in stone after the fact. The chairman, no doubt seeing us as mere monsters, looked at the documents. A complete, blow-by-blow rundown of the explanation he had given us, and blanched. I could understand his surprise when he saw my revisions in red pen, all but spelling out for him that he couldn't pull a fast one on me. It was all Raphael's doing, not mine, but let's gloss over the details here. If you have any concerns, I'd be happy to discuss them. If he couldn't accept my terms, there was no urgent need to join the council. I'd just presumed that my quest for general acceptance from humankind was still a bit premature, and deepened my ties with the nations that already accepted us. "No, there are no problems, exactly. But if possible, Lord Rimuru, I would like some time to debate these matters." The chairman, being no fool, must have realized that he couldn't browbeat us like usual. He would carefully go over my revisions, and he voiced no real complaint about that. Not that I got any time to deliberate, but even if I protested, I wouldn't have gotten any. So for now, I agreed to his request. Why was this happening? The desk kicked into the air, was suspended in space. slowly falling to the ground. And in the midst of this nearly stopped, moment in time, Hinata's eyes seemed particularly cold to me. Didn't need to use her voice to tell me what she was thinking. You've done it after all. With a heavy sound, the desk crashed to the floor. I buried my heel in it, crushing it beyond recognition. Too late to turn back now. So I reclined in my chair as if I had planned all this, crossing one leg over the other, then giving a gloating stare at the counselors gaping at me. I heaved an internal sigh. Look, I kept it bottled up at first. I had a reputation as a grown, mature leader for Tempest, and I took pride in having a heart broader than the ocean. That much I think I've made clear from my recent actions. People called me a bastion of fortitude. I could even handle Milim with no problem. That broad heart of mine allowed me to laugh off and forgive all her selfish bantering. But what if, instead of Milim, you had this room full of unattractive, obsessed, materialistic old men who never even bothered to hide the avarice glinting in their eyes? You could find the answer in that twisted desk in front of me. After an extended 3-hour break, the meeting went back into session. Here's where my problems began. In response to the documents I submitted, the representative created something they called a list of requests and handed it to me. Judging by the tired look on the chairman's face, this was done against his will, but I didn't have any sympathy for him. A quick look through the list showed me that I couldn't accept absolutely none of their demands. Here's a rundown. Open a Magitrain line to Inglacia with Tempest handling all construction and costs. Provide high-quality weaponry and armor. Tempest is requested to help the Western nations strengthen its military preparations. As the labyrinth that appeared in Tempest is a treasure to all humankind, add the council to its administration team. Jesus Christ. Upon admission, Tempest will provide a preset amount of taxes on a yearly basis. Due to safety considerations, the representatives it selects must be humans. And so on. There was a lot of nonsense written down. I gotta hand it to them. They made me lose my temper in the space of 3 seconds. These conditions weren't even worth debating. This wasn't an unequal treaty. I'd sooner give up living with humans entirely than sign on to this. All right, people. Are you making fun of me?
Stop.
You've been prattling on and
Stop.
on.
You're going about this scene completely wrong.
Okay.
Okay. He's fed up. He's done with their bullshit. This is not happy anymore. So you don't speak with a cheerful tone in your voice. I was like, all right, people, are you making fun of me? You've been prattling on and on today, but what makes you think you've got the right to make demands to a demon lord? So, like, literally, this is Rimuru, the demon lord, standing up and talking to them. Like, he is talking down to those beneath him now.
Gotcha.
Give me that.
He's Emperor Rimuru.
Hush.
All right, people. Are you making fun of me? You've been prattling on and on today, but what makes you think you've got the right to make demands to a demon lord?
Thank you.
My kicking the desk to pieces made the hall notably quieter. Holding back my rage, I spoke directly to the chairman, currently hanging his head in shame. Sir Rimuru is asking a question. Don't just sit there quietly. Please answer him. Shuna, smiling, delivered a follow-up blow for me, and I think that had more of an effect than anything I said. The counselors looked fully cowed now, some of them breaking into a cold sweat. I think you have... oh, wait, who's...
This is, once again, Rimuru.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you have the wrong idea here. Our nation has already almost completed a gigantic economic block of its own. The one reason we want to join the Council of the West anyway is so we can show the human race that we're not hostile to them. But if you don't want that, I've got no intention of forcing things along here. My voice rang quietly in the silent chamber. I wasn't shouting at all, but it seemed to make all the representatives' minds shiver with fear. I wasn't using Lord's ambition or anything like that. Against a human target, Lord's ambition would cause sheer panic at best, insanity and death at worst. No need to break that out. And I wasn't brainwashing them at all either. If I did, I'd be throwing all the goodwill I built with humanity out the window. I had no interest in living out my life with a legion of boring puppets who said nothing but yes to me. No, this was just me being riled into destroying the desk and laying out my full opinions. But even that had a massive effect. No, Sir Rimuru, that was not at all the motive behind our requests. Certainly not. We simply provided our perhaps overly optimistic feedback out of a desire to deepen our friendly ties with you. The browbeaten counselors desperately began making excuses. The more of them I heard, the more annoyed I got. First off, why was the king of a nation only a sir? If I was convening with other kings and leaders, I'd expect that. But being called it by someone without a country to govern was the same as saying I ran no nation at all. It was a nation addressing a colony, and it demonstrated zero respect for us. I'm sure they looked down on us as a bunch of monsters. I could put up with being looked down upon personally, but if it was my whole country, forget it. I am a demon lord, and expected to be treated that way, but this was even worse than I expected. My hotel was first class, and a lot of the counselors here treated me with respect, so maybe I let my guard down a little. But still, this was horrible. Oh, then what was your motive? Because to me, this sounds like you want my nation and me to work day and night for you as your slaves. No, not at all. That was not our intention whatsoever. It was nothing like that. The counselors argued mightily. If these nobles were meant to represent entire nations, it just made my head hurt. Even with a heart as tolerant as mine, having to negotiate with people like this was testing me. If Yuki had made these sly old dogs do his bidding, then he must be the slyest fox of all. I wish I could follow his example, but I don't think I could.
Suggestion. Would you like me to automatically handle this? Yes? No?
It sounded like Raphael was saying something, but I'm sure I imagined it. Yes, it's a trusted, talented assistant. It's still just a skill. It shouldn't be able to so freely speak its mind like that. I guess I've been relying on it so much. I'm starting to hear my own internal desire spoken back to me.
Okay.
If something like that were possible...
You're garbling up. Your internet is garbling you up.
No!
I think just go back to I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it sound okay right now?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. First off, hold on. It's kind of your connection that's kind of garbling it up. And secondly, let me direct him. Let me be the director. Thank you.
He literally is the director, so...
Yeah.
Okay, looks like it's
Jesus.
reconnecting
Yeah, you're good
better.
now.
Okay. All right.
All right. So.
I love bad internet.
Where was I? I'm just
I
gonna
guess.
start with. It sounded like Raphael was saying something,
start from
but
the
I'm
beginning.
sure I imagined it. Yes, it's a trusted, talented assistant, but it's still just a skill. It shouldn't be able to so freely speak its mind like that. I guess I've been relying on it so much, I'm starting to hear my own internal desire spoken back to me. If something like that were possible, I'd probably have Raphael give all my speeches for me, and it'd be like, why did I suffer for so long then? I shook my head, attempting to shake the delusions from my mind, then stared back at the counselors. Crap. Now that my mind was cleared out, I just realized I had no idea how to resolve this situation. Haste makes waste, and all that. I just made things super complicated for myself, and fixing it all up was going to be an uphill battle. The representatives were frantic for a solution, and honestly, so was I.
Report. It is not a problem. As you intended, Master, I have confirmed the effect of the spiritual interference affecting the room.
What? I wasn't intending anything there. I wasn't thinking at all. I was pissed off, so I reacted accordingly. Now...
Report. With this quantity of samples, I have discovered the laws governing the spiritual interference. As with the subject gay, the majority of counselors in this... Yeah. Nice callback.
Yeah.
The
Hell yeah.
majority of counselors in this chamber are under the effect of spiritual interference from someone. Remove the interference? Yes? No?
Well, I mean, sure. I thought yes in my mind without hesitation. The moment I did, the previously silent counselors began to speak up again. Well, of course Lord Rimuru is angry. How could we make up for this disgrace? Wait, these conditions weren't even brought up in our previous special session. Who tried to slip these past us? Things started to change pretty quick. Raphael strikes again. No matter the issue, I can always rely on it. Looks like the counselors regained their senses. I defiantly muttered as if this was my plan all along. I just wanted to look cool, really. But it sure elicited a response from Shuna. They certainly did. I thought they were acting a bit strange, but someone had taken over their spirits? Well, Raphael?
It's more like, I thought they were acting a bit strange.
Okay.
Yeah.
They certainly did. I thought they were acting a bit strange, but someone had taken over their spirits? Well, Raphael?
Understood. It is a type of spiritual interference skill. It does not exert any influence on magicules, so confirming its presence took some time. But it is statistically impossible for so many people to possess such similar wavelengths. It was believed that canceling it would take time, but your anger wavelengths created an open seam.
Right.
Oh.
Exactly like I pictured it. Let's go with that.
Fucking liar.
I don't think it was that strong, I ventured, without any evidence. The spiritual interference gave the counselors a sort of tunnel vision, maybe. Shuna and the rest of my crew gave me looks of impressed respect. I see. So you placed pressure on them to shake them out of it. That was Benimaru. I see. So you placed pressure on them to shake them out of it. That's right, Benimaru. I considered it all clearly before doing it. Better phrase it that way. I don't want them to start imitating my temper tantrum just now. Plus, this gave me the perfect excuse for Hinata. We're all good. But I still had my doubts. Who carried out that spiritual interference anyway? Probably not Yuki, I don't think. I doubted he'd take an approach that left so much evidence like this. If he did, he'd need some motivation to, but no point pondering over that. Now wasn't the time to pursue the culprit. Right now, I needed to solve the problems staring me in the face. The newly awoken counselors were bearing down on a subset of the council, the group who created that list of demands. There were more than I thought, but they still looked like all was well. I must have had some other scheme in mind. Suddenly, I felt something odd. A few of them were looking toward a door deeper inside the chamber. Turning my ears toward it, I could hear several sets of footsteps. Did someone call the royal guard?
Report. No such movements were detected, so it is believed this was planned in advance.
Maybe they set this up to have me cause a scene so they could arrest me. Against a demon lord, that took a lot of guts. Maybe it really was that sloppy of a plan. I could picture it, but if so, the people of Inglacia and its surrounding nations must have been pretty oblivious to danger. They were so far away from the threat of demon lords that they must have gotten soft. The same is true of their counselors. There must have been a lot of optimists around there. Maybe these were the fools scheming something Hinata had warned about. The moment that occurred to me, the door opened, revealing a dozen or so soldiers led by a larger man.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
I'm going to take over here because you were starting to get some more lag. And I was like, before that kicks in and becomes an issue, we'll just swap out. All right. Well, someone's sure in a lively mood. So you're the fool calling himself a demon lord. You certain...
I am Lord Rimuru, yes.
You certain you can afford to act so high and mighty if you've only got 3 people with you? The large man immediately began shouting at me the moment he came inside. He gave a vulgar smile as he made no attempt to hide his disdain for me. This wasn't just rude, he was trying to start a fight, and there was no way to excuse it. My friends and I gave one another dumbfounded looks. Hang on. This is part of their plan. They had some kind of deep design behind this. Understood. It is believed that this man has nothing of the sort. Oh, really? So he's just a huge idiot? My name is Rimuru, and yes, I call myself a demon lord. Are you confusing me with someone else? Just in case, I thought I should ask. Whoops, wrong guy wouldn't cut it. Whoops. Wrong guy wouldn't cut it when the dust settled. So I tried to figure out the man's true motives. Shuna's smile had disappeared, and Benimaru was so angry that he was now frozen in place. Zoe was about ready to whip out the sword he had hidden on him, and weapons in the chamber were gonna be real hard to explain later. I was just as livid as them. In fact, I was so far gone, I almost wanted to laugh. That was how I remained cool-headed enough to ask the question, but the results were pretty lacking. Yep, you're the one. He said that idiot's name was Rimuru. No mistake then. Which meant I was safe doing him in, but look. Can you quit it with that? I don't know what you want, but do you think you'll get away with that kind of lawlessness in front of all these witnesses? This wasn't something I could really say after bashing up that desk, but that was then. Let's use the law as a weapon to chase this freak away, because otherwise, I really might kill him. And if I didn't, I feared Benimaru or someone else would lose it. But the large man kept at it. Moron! This is my big chance! Once I knock you around and put this on you, all of you monsters will be under our command. What? Knock me around? Under his command? What's he talking about? Maybe I really was a moron because I didn't understand him at all. Understood. This fool is saying that he will defeat you and make you follow his commands. Yeah, I know. If you keep explaining things with a straight face like that, I really will look like an idiot. Newsflash, you're already an idiot.
You already do.
Too late.
Yeah, too late.
Hmm.
All right. And what's that in that man's hand? It has none of that. It was none other than an orb of domination. The very artifact I saw in use back when Milam pretended to be hypnotized. It looked real, but would that work on me? Understood. It is impossible to rule over my lord with the orb of domination. That's a relief. I don't know where this lumbering man found it, I thought, but I'd better break it before it puts anyone in danger. I stood up from my seat. It must have woken the chairman from his stupor because he started shouting in panic. Wait! Lord Rimuru! This is some kind of mistake! No one in the council is sponsoring this! Please confirm it with Lady Hinata if you wish! She's an impartial party! He was respectful toward me, and I didn't think he was lying. Hinata didn't say anything about this. In fact, she warned me to stay on guard. I didn't think it'd be this in-your-face stupid, but for now, I couldn't do much except sit back and see how things went. The chairman wasn't my enemy, neither was Hinata, and I had a lot of allies among the counselors as well. Let's see. I know nothing about this! What is going on here? Who sent you here? Those soldiers' armor bears the emblem of the Inglacia royal family. Is Inglacia instigating this? I could hear them shouting above the confused representative. Clearly, they couldn't have been involved. This wasn't something the council hatched. It was the work of a smaller group gone clearly out of control. Amid the chaos, one person made a cool-headed decision. That was Hinata. When the chairman stated her name, she stood up and stepped between the large man and me. Sir Raynor, what is the meaning of... Oh, no, you know what? It's Hinata. Sir Raynor, what is the meaning of this? Raynor, was it? If Hinata knew him, was he famous around here? Do not come in here without permission. We are in the middle of a council session. Soldiers like you are not allowed. Emboldened by Hinata's actions, the chairman began... Oh, I'm sorry, that was the chairman. Do not come in here without permission! We are in the middle of a council session! Soldiers like you are not allowed! Emboldened by Hinata's actions, the chairman began yelling at the group as well. But instead of Raynor, one of the counselors answered him. Count Gabon of Inglacia. Count Gabon of Inglacia, I think his name was. Ha ha ha! Worry not, Chairman Leicester. I called them in here to discipline that lawbreaker over there. Gabon was all smiles from his seat in the second tier, close to the chairman. Sir Gabon, have you gone mad? The chairman's face went red as he shouted. I could see why. If a fellow counselor was involved, that kind of prevented the chairman from claiming the council wasn't in on this. And as long as we had an impartial observer in Hinata, this ridiculous farce could very well benefit me. I hated all this verbal abuse, but decided to weather it for a bit. Sir Gabon, I was not informed of this. This was Representative Johann Rostia, a prince, screaming now. He was among the more decent counselors, not placed under spiritual interference. I remember the disgusted look on his face when things first went awry. Looks like he was siding with me here. I presumed he was on the pro-admission side. Everyone, please calm down. I know that we all fear the Demon Lord Rimuru, am I wrong? And Sir Raynor here is the strongest man in all of Inglacia. He is here to defeat Rimuru, rule over him, and make the member of the Octagram into his personal pawn, and with him comes Veldora. Even with the other counselors telling him off, Gabon remained unaffected, using his seat to formally declare hostilities against me. Several counselors shouted their agreement. If it was getting to this point, I no longer had any reason to hold back, but the situation was progressing so fast I was getting left in the dust. Impossible! Unforgivable! How dare you disrespect the council! Indeed, are you ignoring the will of the council and prioritizing your own motives instead? Even more counselors stood up and began airing their grievances. This was starting to look ominous. Some of the representatives didn't look well, hanging their heads. Given Gabon's dauntless behavior, he probably had another trick up his sleeve, and I was right. Order, please, gentlemen! What my knight Raynor says is true, and now the Demon Lord's been kind enough to come visit us. How could we afford not to use this opportunity? With those words, a delicate-looking man strode into the chamber. This blonde-haired figure wasn't a counselor, but certainly acted like their boss. I thought I detected a murmur of surprise among the council. I could guess he was pretty high up, but the next moment, Prince Elric! What's going on here? I thought I advised you to refrain from any foolish behavior. Oh, no, sorry. I thought that was... Prince Elric, what's going on here? I thought I advised you to refrain from any foolish behavior. Hinata confirmed it for me. Apparently, this was the honest-to-goodness prince of this nation, and not even a council could be rude around a prince. No wonder there was so much consternation in the chamber. So this was Prince Elric, the mastermind behind all this. He had incited at least a few counselors by the looks of it. Hinata, I'm disappointed in you. You've grown fearful of the Demon Lord and abandoned your post as guardian of humankind. What? Came the cold, low-pitched reply. Wow, he really pissed her off. Now I wasn't sure I needed to act at all. Enough back talk, Hinata. All right? You may be the leader of the Paladin forces, or what have you, but there's no possible way you could best me, the head general of Inglacia, Royal Knight Corps. You can't even beat that wispy weakling of a Demon Lord. Instead, you lick each other's wounds. What a laugh! I bet you wet your pants running from him, didn't you? That vulgar smile was still on Raynor's face as he picked a fight with Hinata. Oh man, even I could feel the blood draining from my face. You, can't even reply, can you? I'm assuming I've hit the nail on the head. Well, Miss Crusader Captain, that's a ceremonial title, I presume, you obtained by exercising your womanly wiles on that dirty old cardinal. Yes, I'm sure it was a sorry fight indeed between you and that Demon Lord. And a Demon Lord with no interest in killing his adversary? Don't make me laugh.
He has gone past 6 feet. He's digging a really big grave.
Oh yeah. He's about to the planet's core now.
Hand
Yeah.
him the shovel now, because he's about to go under.
Oh, God.
Oh no, I'm taking the heat again. I really wish he'd stop. But I'll hand it to you, Hinata. You are attractive. If you'll be my lady, I promise I'll take good care of you as a concubine. You know. Oh man. Now he's dead.
Hinata's expression
She
didn't
was.
change. She was the cool, reserved beauty she always was. But the colder she looked on the outside, the more her insides raged like bubbling magma. Her patience amazes me. It really does. I would have lost it hours ago. Now, General Raynor. Isn't that going a little too low? But I'm interested in the Demon Lord as well. I wouldn't want you to have him all to yourself, you know. What do you think? I felt an indescribable chill run down my spine. Was this Gabon guy coming on to me? The thought of this man sickened me. And after today's events, it'd take a lot to move me at all. Good thing he was far away from me, because otherwise I might have clocked him just now. Prince Elric, as the Prince of Inglacia, are you willing to allow this man, Sir Raynor, to say such things? Sorry, I thought that was the guy in charge again. Prince Elric, as the Prince of Inglacia, are you willing to allow this man, Sir Raynor, to say such things? Hinata hid the anger in her cold voice as she asked the question. Elric just smiled. Hinata, if you had cooperated with me, I would have given you much more honorable treatment. If you wish to blame anyone, blame yourself for angering Raynor. And yes, I forgot to mention this, but Raynor is more powerful than an A-ranked adventurer, and he's not alone. With that, Elric snapped his fingers. The door immediately opened once more, revealing a man in black, another in green robe, and a group of people in overcoats with a familiar emblem on them. Come to think of it, I knew the first guy too. It was Gay! The dude who got his head cut off by Delta the Dryad, and those overcoat guys were definitely Green Fury, the team of avatars. The team our avatars waged a life and death battle against. These guys couldn't even take out their fucking avatars, and they think they can take down Rimuru? That's cute. That's fucking
adorable.
cute.
Wow.
So
now
was,
here's my
this is gonna
question:
be-
who's gonna strike first?
So
This
was
is
the
all
green
just a
robe
build
guy?
up to a ass whooping.
So was the green robe
Yeah.
guy part of the Sons of Velt? He was hooded and wearing a scarf over his face, making for a mysterious, unknown figure. But he acted all upper class, so I figured maybe he ran the Velt or something. Allow me to make some introductions. This is Sir Gay, an A-ranked adventurer, and now Raynor's aide-de-camp. And this, Elric placed a hand on the green-robed guy's shoulder. The theatrics made it clear just how self-absorbed he was. Is the leader of the world-famous mercenary group, the Sons of Velt. I assembled as powerful a team as I could, as I thought defeating a demon lord with anyone less worthy would be poor manners. Yes, you see, there are dozens of people like you running around here. Just because you have a little strength of to your name, you know, doesn't give you the right to act like a king. He certainly had confidence, and if he wanted to fight, I was happy to give it to him. Report. Doing so would have a 100% chance of damaging your reputation. Right? Even to me, a demon lord starting a fight in front of such an influential audience seemed like a poor idea, and my policy was to fight a challenger only after they conquered my labyrinth. If I started bending that rule for no good reason, I'd have to duke it out with every idiot I passed by on the street. And what's more, someone in the chamber was angrier than me. People are strange that way. If someone else gets angry first, that actually has a calming effect on you. Let me ask you, Prince Elric. What you are doing is antagonizing not only me, but the entire Western Holy Church, said Hinata. Are you prepared to accept the consequences? No need to worry. I will not cause any trouble for the Western Holy Church, nor for the Holy Empire of Lubelius. Just sit there and watch, and I will guarantee your safety. Seeing Hinata fight to keep her cool, I forgot all about how angry I was. But from the chairman on down, there were counselors attempting to defy Elric's group. We weren't alone in the lion's den here. We hadn't been rejected by the council. These were just some idiots gone out of control. Maybe it wasn't worth getting worked up about. That's not the issue. I have been asked by the council to attend this session as an impartial observer. My role is to ensure its proceedings remain fair, and I am thus in no position to let your recklessness go unanswered. If this was the council's will, that would be a different story,
but please don't expect I will allow a single person to act out of line like this. Given their relative positions, Hinata was trying to reason with Elric first. I doubted it'd work much. The words just weren't reaching him. Lady Hinata is right. This nonsense will not be tolerated in this chamber. Prince Elric, I heard nothing of this. And Sir Gaban, do you expect no repercussions from this? Lord Rimuru himself came out here for us. This treatment is going to spark an international incident. This is unforgivable. Is this how the kingdom of Inglacia oppresses its people? Rage, anger, ranting, more and more counselors were putting up a fight. Now I felt like I was in a theater watching the events unfold from my seat. My starring role might have been taken from me, but I didn't care. Without fairness, can you call it a council at all? Now the chairman was shouting. I cheered him on in my mind. Keep it up! Shut your mouths, old men. You can simper all you want once I've taken control of the Demon Lord. Raynor, meanwhile, was already up on his imaginary victory podium. He had already riled Hinata past the point of no return, so I doubted I needed to do anything. I figured we'd just ignore him. Prince Elric, our agreement only covered our bodyguard services for you alone. Any hazardous behavior you engage in would void our agreement. Whoa! So the Sons of Veltleader wasn't in on this, and here I had bunched them all together in my mind. Good thing I learned the facts in time. Yes, the Demon Lord Rimuru is the most dangerous figure I can personally think of. The labyrinth he created is crawling with all kinds of insane treasures.
Creatures.
Creatures you'd have to be a madman to come up with. Should I take that as a compliment? Maybe all that fighting was worth it after all. The elementalist leading Green Fury was almost too scared of me now. Nonsense. You cowards do nothing but get in my way. Ah, but gays? In the same boat as Raynor, eh? They seem pretty alike, overconfident and turning a deaf ear to all outside opinion. He was flashing hateful looks at me now, although I really didn't know where the grudge came from. Either way, the chamber was one step away from erupting into full-fledged combat. Elric, taking charge in the midst of this stalemate, raising a hand. Order! All of you, listen! Prince Elric is speaking! Shouted Gaban, who had come down from the mezzanine to stand next to Elric. The prince nodded his approval, took a long, careful look around, and suddenly spoke. Counselors! Now is the time to express your will to me. Will you join us, the heroes who will slay the Demon Lord, or will you side with that nefarious lord and betray humankind? I, Prince Erlich von Inglacia, know in my heart that the representatives before me will make the correct choice. He gloated like a stage actor. What? I reflexively replied. We're gonna vote on it now? The prince nodded back at me, like this was common sense. After that wacky entrance he made, he still wanted to try upholding his honor. Besides, if we held a vote right now, there's no way he'd win a majority of... Why not? We must decide this democratically. By vote. Of course, I'm sure we hardly need to. The council, you see, is firmly on my side. That piqued my interest. He was supremely confident, as if he already knew the results, which, if you thought about it, was ridiculous. Not even a prince could get away with this outrageous behavior in an international council like this. So why was he doing it? Understood. He has likely bribed many of the counselors. Ah, I knew it. But I didn't think he'd buy off representatives from foreign nations as well. It'd be an international scandal if he got out. So I discounted any possibility of that. Served me right for making the wrong assumption. Now, let us decide, fairly and honestly. We are about to defeat and take rule over the Demon Lord. All in agreement, stand up! As the prince's voice rang up to the rafters, several counselors rose to their feet with vile smirks. The conclusion was obvious.
Collusion.
The collusion was obvious. Well, I suppose it's come to this. Even if today's turned out disappointing, I've got all the time in the world. If we've been rejected, then it's our duty to accept those results. Report, there are no problems. This is within expectations.
They'd already solved the problem before the prince walked in.
Yep.
It is? I was struck by their vision of Raphael letting a dark grin materialize on its visage. Come to think of it, Soe had done a lot of investigating, hadn't he? People's opinions of our nation, the financial states of all the countries, how the royalty and nobility approached them. He had even poured through the legislative proceedings of each member nation. Raphael had examined all of it in intricate detail, and inside my stomach, it had quickly created a set of documents for me. It took them out. I took them out. It was a set of ledgers. Oh, secret ledgers. Were these really within our expectations, Raphael? I couldn't believe this guy had actually found dirt on all the paid-off counselors. If I revealed these detailed lists of bribes given and received, I could take down everyone involved in one fell swoop. And now that I had incontrovertible evidence, this really was nothing more than a farce. That's Raphael for you. No stone left unturned. It was honestly scary. Report. My lord will be victorious without needing to reveal that evidence. Before I could figure out what it meant, the vote was over. Several counselors stood up and started clapping. Seeing this, Elric's voice boomed out again. We have our results, and the council's majority agrees. The resolution has been passed. Gabon and Raynor had similar sinister smiles. As Elric gloated to the audience, they were ready to capture us at any moment, but not so fast. Fewer than a third of the council's members were actually on their feet. The majority were still sitting down. That fool Elric was so sure of his plan that he declared victory without even looking at the seats. Now the councilors clapping for Elric realized that they were the minority. They nervously looked around, faces growing pale. The results were clear. The majority was against slaying the Demon Lord. In other words, me. Interestingly, I had more ledgers on me than the number of people standing up. They made up more than half the council, in fact. But I guess a lot of them had a sudden change of heart. Understood. It is believed that, after removing the spiritual interference earlier, they have regained their consciences. I see. They regained their wits and realized how foolishly they were acting. Excellent. It meant the people seated right now had weighed the issue fairly and decided to side with me. The bribes were apparently good enough for some of them, but... Understood. It is believed that the spiritual interference stimulates the desires of its targets. It appears to exact a powerful coercive force on them.
Thought so.
Huh. I kind of sympathize with them then. Between that and Masayuki's chosen one, mind-altering skills are a menace indeed. Masayuki had no control over it, but it looked like this skill user could target individual people. I didn't know who it was, but it was definitely someone to watch out for. That blonde dude, maybe? Well, at least the freed counselors saw the light in time. They all seemed friendly enough to me, so maybe I could keep quiet about the bribes. Really, though, if the fate of nations can ride on the choices of just a few counselors, I think there might be some issues with the whole council system. If organizations like the League of Nations or the United Nations can't keep themselves pure like that, it's only a matter of time before they go rotten. Corrupt representatives ruin the reputation of the nation they represent. If you're going to leave nations' destinies to individual personalities and dignitaries, then I wish they'd pick the counselors here a lot more carefully. Or dignities, sorry. But then, that's nothing for me to worry about. My concern right now was with the people who stood up. Anyone who kept their head down and engaged in injustice like this needed to pay for their crimes. Before that, I thought we should open the eyes of the fools who still hadn't caught up with events. Hey, take a breath and look closer at the room. I kept myself composed as I spoke to Elric. Ha! What are you? He hadn't noticed the vote yet. It's amazing how much you could embarrass yourself when you were this stupid. What are you, a clown? What? No, pardon me, Prince Elric. It's just so comical, you see. Even Hinata, coldly viewing this farce, chose this moment to join with me. She may seem frigid, but right now she was bursting to fight. I didn't want to lose out to her, but Hinata's lips were simply moving too fast. The majority of the chamber voted against your opinion. As the observer, I hereby declare that this vote was carried out in a fair legal fashion. Of course, I'm sure the council will hold an inquiry later to determine whether you had any right to call for a vote in the first place. Ha! I refuse to stand for this nonsense. Have you all forsaken me? I love it. He anticipated results failing to happen. Elric was now carrying on like a child. Or his anticipated results failing to happen, Elric carried on like a child. Considering how much of a narcissist he was, seeing him break down like this was the height of comedy. Hinata was all smiles, and so was I. I could just feel all the frustration from before dissolve away. Yes! Yes, Prince Elric is right! Do you understand what this means, everyone? If you pull an act like this, we will rescind our nation's support to... Wait, what does that mean, Sir Gabon? Would you mind explaining it to us? The exhausted-looking chairman put Gabon off right as he was shouting, spittle sticking to the edges of his lips. Something about that statement must have caught his attention. Our nation's support, perhaps? Understood.
Uh-oh.
It is excerpted in the previous documents. I look back at them. Ah, yes. Now I see the transactions in detail. Anti-flooding construction in the kingdom of Rybok, food support in the drought in Karnata. They've made many other promises
Canada?
of support. No, Karnata.
It's Canada.
And this is how they were meant to pay you back, huh? But if you're going to cut off that support after they stop taking your orders, it's all but admitting to the malignant bribery you've been engaging in. Oh. Damn, he said that out loud. What? Why do you know about our internal affairs? Elric was silenced. Gabon was unable to hide his shock. I remained calm and lorded over them with a light smile. That was all I needed to bluff my opponents. I didn't really know what was going on either, but if that's what Raphael said, I was sure there was no doubting it. Now Elric's allies were beside themselves with panic. The chairman, sensing my gist, was staring at them like a man possessed. The council had just taken another turn. Now things were tilting our way for good. I saw one of the counselors try to sit down when no one was looking. None of that, thinks. So his sticky steel thread had already kept them standing in place. Ah, I knew it, said the Sons of Velt leader in an indistinct, genderless voice. We're not in the business of guarding someone looking to prod the hornet's nest. I guess their business transaction with Elric was over. Victory was ours. By now, our objectives were as good as accomplished. But there were still some fools here who refused to accept defeat. Enough of this utter garbage! Prince Elric, now is no time to give up. Once I have defeated the Demon Lord, our problems are solved. Raynor! Yes, General Raynor! We still have you! The greatest weapon in our arsenal! What a sight for sore eyes! They didn't know when to quit, I guess. Now they were casting the entire council aside to fulfill their aims. I doubted it would work, but then I didn't know how much of an idiot's thought process. I didn't know much about an idiot's thought process. Really? You don't?
Hot meat kettle.
Ah,
so this is what it's like from the outside.
Raynor's vulgar
Really?
smile was back. He was flashing the orb of domination around, so I suppose he was still intent on stuffing that into me somehow. Gay! Behind him, gave out some sort of order to his soldiers. They promptly moved to block the door. I suppose they wanted to keep everyone in here to keep word of their blunders from getting out. The Sons of Velt had already taken a step back, but there were still a few upper-level adventurers on Elric's side. Weapons out, pointed at us. Weapons? In the chamber? Of all the foolish things! The chairman was screaming his head off, but the soldiers were keeping anyone from leaving the mezzanine. I stopped hearing him after a while, so I guess he got captured along with the other counselors. If it's come to this, I thought, but Hinata moved first. As observer, I refused to accept this reckless behavior. Also,
Hinata smiled at Rainer, reminding him of all the insults he lobbed at her. She wasn't armed, since weapons weren't allowed in the chamber, but if she was, I'm sure she would have had her hand on her hilt of her sword by now. They're so dead. Rimuru, I'll take care of this. Oh, this is rich. Oh, this is rich. I am the strongest man in Inglacia, and I say it's time to expose you. Some saint you are. You might have gotten carried away being touted as the guardian of humankind and all, but that ends today. It's time to give you a dose of reality. Never once reflecting on her actual skills, Rainer gave Hinata all the bombast he could muster. And you know what? He wasn't weak. An over A in rank, even. He could probably wage a pretty even battle with a magic-born like Gelmud. But he wouldn't know, would he? In a land as peaceful as Inglacia, he was an outstanding talent and font of strength, but he hadn't put in hours on the battlefield fighting monsters. That's why he was so oblivious to the threat they posed. Gay was the same. Would you allow me to engage the Demon Lord, then? Of course, but don't kill him, Gay. Make sure you control the force of that holy sword I gave you. No need to remind me. With this piece of equipment, I'll never face failure again. Gay wanted to go up against me. Whatever fancy weapon he got put him in high spirits. But it wasn't anything that extraordinary. Kind of towing the line between rare and unique. Plus, if he's relying on equipment and skills instead of actual talent, it's unlikely he had much of the latter to work with. Gay's overall A fighter, but to me now
over A.
An over A fighter, but to me right now he wasn't even a threat. Faced with a foe like this, the honest thought in my mind was, man, I really don't want to have to deal with this. But apparently I wouldn't need to. All this time I've put up with your humiliation. But you have been far too rude to Sir Rimuru, the man I respect and admire. Shuna stepped in front of me, her attitude suggesting she'd take no prisoners. Quietly, she walked up to Gay. Wow, she might be way angrier than me. Looking around, I spotted Benimaru frozen in place and not moving an inch. He was caught flat-footed, and when our eyes met, he gave me an awkward look. Yeah, I get it. We were of the same mind, and one glance was all it took to confirm that. How long will you continue to put me down? Aren't you ashamed at all, Demon Lord Rimuru, hiding in the shadow of this poor little girl? Shuna was right in front of Gay. I mean, this is Shuna, not Shion.
Still.
Shuna was right in front of Gay as he continued to scoff at me. What did he expect from me? If Shuna was ready to kick his ass, I didn't want to steal her thunder. And if Benimaru was reluctantly giving her the stage, I had to follow suit. Silence. There is no need for Sir Rimuru or my brother to bother themselves with you. I am more than enough. If you say so, but you better not regret this, all right? Man or woman, I go easy on no one. Pretty sure she's the same. Shuna, you done goofed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Hey, God, I got some nastiness. All right, there we go.
Ew!
With that, he took out his sword. It was a holy one. Pretty cool looking, I thought, but Shuna's smile only widened. Her panzer skill must have already stripped... her parser skill must have already stripped Gay's abilities bare for her. And if it did, I had nothing to worry about. If something went awry, Soe was already poised to step in. So I decided to cheer her on instead. And so, as the leaders of the council and I looked on, the battle between our two groups began. I might have tried to make that sound epic-making, but the fight was over in an instant. Yeah, it's beautiful. First off, Hinata against Rainer. That was like an elephant and an ant against an ant. There was Hinata, dressed to the nines in the formal wear she picked for the council. It didn't look too suited for physical work, but she still lunged at Raynor. Not a single wasted motion in her approach. Huh? Raynor, meanwhile, couldn't keep up with her at all. I couldn't blame him. She was going at 100% force right now.
Wasn't.
She wasn't going at 100% force right now, but she might very well be stronger than a demon lord or two. Reaching for his chest, she grabbed Raynor by the hand and shoulder and threw him straight off his feet. As for Gay, he lived up to his word, offering no quarter as he slashed at Shuna, but that didn't alarm her, so she removed her folding fan and made a single swipe. That's all it took for Gay's blade to snap off. Ha! His pained wail sounded less than heroic, but Shuna wasn't done yet.
This is a reminder. Take your medicine.
Hold on.
Bill's here.
This is a reminder. Take your medicine.
All right, there we go. Yeah, now that I've been told I have to take my medicine, I can continue reading for a little bit longer. All right. What garbage. I'm not going to make this kill easy for you. You said something about the A rank, if I recall. But would you mind fighting seriously for me, please? Don't tell me you're giving up just because your sword's broken. She pointed the fan at Gay, egging him on. Damn! Damn you! A monster like you, acting like my lord and master! Indignant didn't begin to describe Gay's state just then, but Shuna was clearly toying with him. The talent difference was clear, and if he thought he could win, I had no idea what was going through his mind. Still, Shuna's a damn good martial artist, isn't she? Yes, she's been learning jiu-jitsu from Hakuro.
Oh, shit.
Yep. One of those people was Soe, but I couldn't tell which one, so I just voiced them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably yes.
Shrine maidens are
works.
certainly versatile, of course. Hakuro's jiu-jitsu was the old style suited for real-life combat. A lot of its moves were designed to kill, putting the art well beyond the bounds of self-defense. If that's the kind of thing they taught ogre princesses, there was no denying the race's battle chops. Shuna's follow-up attack continued. Gay had taken out a backup sword, but she kept toying with him, knocking him down with a foot sweep. His heavy armor backfired on him as he frantically tried and failed to get up. Now she loomed over him, her fetching lips reciting a spell. I dedicate my prayers to my God. I seek the power of the mighty spirits. Now heed my request. The prayer coursed through space and time to reach me. It didn't have to, since I was right here, right there, but that didn't matter. Huh? What? A multi-layered magic circle surrounded the flabbergasted Gay. Wait, this magic! Oh, he knew it? He really did break the A-rank barrier then. But understanding it and being capable of defying it were two different things. The spell was near completion and there was no escaping it. Could he withstand or block it? I doubted it. After all, this spell... Stop it! Consume all. Disintegration is the most powerful of all holy magic. A torrent of light swallowed Gay whole, consuming everything inside, or so it appeared. Just as I was thinking, oh great, she killed him, I realized it wasn't the case after all. The swirl of light disappeared, revealing a half-naked Gay. His legs must have failed him because he was sitting on the floor and weeping like a schoolyard kid. Well, hey, at least he's alive. Oh dear, my skills are so immature. I suppose my magic didn't work. I knew I shouldn't have tried a spell I'm still practicing. She smiled the whole way through. I had to resist shouting, "Yeah, right!" at her. Using disintegration to strip only the armor. Using disintegration to strip only the armor off someone, after all, is an impossible feat unless you had perfect control over the spell. Really, though, it wasn't that long ago since I had Shuna and Adelman working together to learn holy magic. And she'd already learned the hardest spell? What a magic phenom she was! Her parser skill must have been offering her tons of support. Regardless, though, it meant she beat Gay without breaking a sweat. That left Hinata, but the results were already clear as day. General Raynor, stop playing around! Silence! That impertinent woman at once! You must defeat the Demon Lord! We have no time for games! Gabon and Elric were failing to grasp the situation, were shouting at Raynor in unison. Raynor couldn't move. Hinata's stare was just too withering for him. Only after that throw did he finally realize just how much stronger she was. Not coming back for me? Then how about I head over to you? The moment Hinata moved to take a step forward, with one of the most pathetic screams ever uttered in the world, Raynor buried his head in his hands and fell to his knees. A steaming liquid was leaking out of his crotch.
Oh.
Holy crap! Who was wetting their pants now, huh? It was so exasperating that I didn't know what to say. What? General Raynor? What happened? As strong as you are, Hinata the Saint should pose no challenge at all. Seeing someone refuse to accept reality like this is scary, isn't it? It made it so easy to issue the cruelest of orders to people. Raynor just kneeled there, tears and spittle intermingling all over his face. So much for that. It was a mismatch from the mismatch from the start. But I assumed this was the end of it. With that settled, I looked around at the people standing by their ground floor seats. The most prominent one was Elric. In the front row, acting strangely. The sons of Velt were huddled next to him, but I doubted they wanted a fight. They were keeping a natural distance, appealing to me with their body language that they wanted nothing to do with this. All right, Prince Elric. You picked a fight with me, so what are you going to do now? Keep going? No. And you guys who stood up, I'm assuming your home nations fully sanction your behavior today, right? So I can presume them guilty of the same crimes? No, Sir Rimuru, please, one moment. I mean, Lord Rimuru. Please allow me to speak for a moment. I was greeting them with a smile. They were keeping their pallid faces down. A few of them were trying their hardest to plead their case, but I ignored them. Soe had forced them to remain on their feet. So all these counselors who incurred my hostility could do right. So all these counselors who incurred my hostility could do right now was plead for mercy. Whether I engaged with them or not, they were powerless. This way, I knew I had the upper hand. From the side, it may have looked like a pretty little girl nonchalantly lording it over a bunch of grown-ups. A rare sight if you ever saw one. Comical, probably. No way a faceless crowd like this could ever oppose a demon lord. Their lack of oppress, sorry. Also oppose, but yes.
Yeah.
Oppress a demon lord. Their lack of common sense, or a mind too weak to notice reality, just lost them today. And what a sloppy stratagem. I can't believe they really thought they'd beat me and turn me into some kind of puppet demon lord. I suppose Hinata was right. They wanted to rile me into making the first move, but... So, how to settle this? Well, hang on. Over half the counselors were subjected to spiritual interference, their desires stimulated. Without me intervening, they would have sided with Elric, and his measure would have passed, putting me in a bad spot. No matter the internal circumstances, it was nigh impossible to reverse a completed vote. Things only worked out like this thanks to Raphael, but clearly someone's out there. Someone's out to get one over on me here. Report. Murderous will detected. The target is the subject Elric. Oh, crap! My magic sense skill was picking it up, too. Over a mile away, someone was eyeing this chamber with malicious intent. But what could they do from this far? I promptly invoked Mind's Accelerate and gauged the situation. Via magic sense, I saw a girl with red hair and kind of a wild look. In her hand was something small, black, and metallic. A handgun. Huh? A handgun? From that range? And I didn't know how far one could shoot, but understood. This is a Walter P99, a compact, lightweight, but highly capable pistol with an effective range of 55 yards. I didn't need to know all that, thanks. Maybe it's a really good gun, but if it can't clear a football field, it's pointless. Our chamber is almost in the center of Inglacia, built inside a special security zone. Anti-magic defenses are built into its walls, sturdy enough that your run-of-the-mill attack couldn't even make a dent. Besides, any bullet fired would be subject to the physical laws of gravity and air resistance. Maybe it was enhanced with magic skills, but if so, there was no reason not to use a full-on sniper rifle. Of course, you needed to see a target to shoot it, and there shouldn't have been any way for the girl to see Elric from her spot. Even if she had access to magic sense to pinpoint his location, there was a wall in her direct path, making a sniper strike impossible. After the recent assassination of Duke Musset, security had been beefed up around the chamber. I was on guard as well, and I had already confirmed that this building was a poor choice for an assassination strike from far away. So her behavior shouldn't have meant anything to us. Shouldn't have. Or was she aiming for a ricochet that changed the path of... The moment I had the thought, the red-haired woman fired her handgun. In the midst of dilated time, I could see the bullet fire out from the barrel, flying at blazing speed, only to be swallowed into a black hole that appeared out of nowhere. Huh? As I goggled, the bullet disappeared. Report. This is spatial connection, a type of spatial motion. The spatial connection was just that, a skill that connected two recognized points in space together. If the distance involved was small and the portal tiny, it apparently didn't take that much effort to deploy. But I didn't have the time to listen to that explanation. The red-haired woman had used magic sense to pinpoint our positions, then aimed carefully and launched her skill so her bullet would reappear within close range to Elric. Thanks to that, she was about to assassinate someone across a full mile of walls, homes, and who knows what else. A small black hole opened up in the air about 1.5 feet from the side of Elric's head. Coming out of it was a sure-kill bullet running at 1/4 mile a second. It was a point-blank shot, and there was nothing blocking it from drawing nearer and nearer to him. Slowly but surely, I watched it unfold, but I couldn't do anything. My voice wouldn't reach him in time, nor could I move quickly enough to try to stop it. It is not a problem. Launch the ultimate skill, Beelzebub, Lord of Gluttony. Yes, no. This broken-ass
Fucking
motherfucker!
broken.
Yeah, just bullets, no big deal.
That's the... All right.
He
I
has,
got
what,
it.
4 unique skills. He only ever needs 2 of them.
This is what I wanted to get to. This was the part I was wanting to get to. All right. That
Don't
was the
you
part
fucking dare.
that was the part I wanted to get to. I now turn it over to Sonic. Yeah.
All right. Let me go ahead and get this adjusted here.
Me again.
Okay. Da-da-da-da.
Also, Zoe, get ready. You have dialogue coming up very soon.
Yay.
Because you're going to be sent
Nice.
on capture duty.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Gonna
work,
keep
work.
had sick 'em, boy.
You got to capture an assassin. An assassin.
Zoe, I have a mission for you.
Assin.
You got to capture an assassin.
Gotta go fast to catch
Dude,
twice
dude,
the ass.
You gotta go fast, buddy.
Dude, I can't imagine how you guys... Oh, well, actually,
Now
I
we get
can't
some more
imagine how you guys are dealing with this because I remember my first time reading this and it's like, all this crazy shit is happening. Okay, now all this crazy shit is happening. All right, cool. All right, so
And
this
now
was all the crazy shit.
assassination.
Then it's like, all right, this is all the crazy shit we did expect. All right, now here's all the crazy shit you didn't expect. All right, now here's how we're going to wrap it up, all the crazy shit in a way that you did expect. Okay, now we're going to have Shuna just beat up Gay because it's just...
Shuna, have the girls take care of it. It's like,
Yeah, have the
you
girls
got
take
beat up
care
by
of it.
Shuna.
It's... Bro, don't underestimate Shuna.
Oh,
She
no,
is
by no
fucking
means.
dangerous.
But it's like, oh, you thought she looked so dainty and cute and so delicate. No.
She's scary.
She's
Mhm.
scary.
Benny Maru's scared
She
of his
scales
little
the demon
sister.
lord.
Benny
And his
Maru be
second
scared.
command.
Benny Maru's scared of his little sister, man. I'm just saying.
Justifiably. So
Yeah, justifiably so. He's afraid of his
Do you think
little sister.
Shuna would be the true, like, successor to Rimuru?
Everybody looks at Shion and thinks she's the scary one. No.
Okay, literally anyone
No, she-
insults Rimuru, Shuna, so you have chosen death.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you have chosen death. Ah, I see. All right, anyway.
You have chosen to throw your life away.
So we get that, and then on top of it, we get this assassination plot. There's some
Mhm.
crazy shit going down.
There's so
it's like
much going down.
it's like a
Mhm.
poisonous lasagna. It's just a layer of
Lasagna.
Garfield's worst nightmare.
it's just a
No, it's his
it's
drink.
layer upon layer of like crazy shit. Now imagine
crazy
now
story
just
of beans
imagine you were just now imagine that you were just a regular ass council member coming in here. You weren't one of the people that had been bribed. You were just coming here to do your council
Another
duty
day.
today. It was supposed to be a day like it wasn't gonna be a day like any other day. There was a fucking demon lord coming in. But like you knew
Well,
shit
this
was gonna
should be
get
an
crazy.
interesting day. A
This should-
demon lord.
This is gonna be kind
Wait,
of a
why
crazy.
is Prince Elric here?
There's gonna
Wait,
be
what the
kind
fuck's going on up there?
What's the
like
royal guard
like
doing
just
here?
the council bullshit alone was over the top and unbelievably excessive, and like the fact that people weren't like these demands and nobody was speaking up about it, and then suddenly everybody's riled up and it's caused, and then it's like, dude, you gotta feel for like that one council member, and God bless. Thank God none of their assistants are there. Can you imagine being like a council member's assistant? Just like you're just
All this.
where's the
Wait, so
fucking
this happened. What?
you know
what
what the
happened?
person you know the person I would feel the worst for? The fucking
They gotta type all
stenographer.
that shit up.
The motherfucking stenographer, the person in the corner just sitting here typing all this shit out like, well, I'm not even supposed to be here today. Like,
Fucking.
My day off.
God
Mm.
damn it. Wait,
Yeah,
why the
that poor
fuck are they-
stenographer.
Motherfucker.
Remus
Oh
was
shit, I
over,
actually
like,
wrote that. Oh no, oh no.
yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
anyway,
You okay? I just imagine Remus just looked down and be like, you okay? You want me to take care of it? No, I can do it. His fingers bleeding.
just like no, I got it. I got it.
Stop
Remus just
talking,
like-
please.
Just let me catch up for a damn minute.
Hold on. What did you say like 5 minutes ago? I'm so lost.
Rimuru just tosses a healing potion on him.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, this
I got you. I'm good now. All right, now. Just
We're
give me like
good
1
now.
minute, all right?
We're good now. My fingers are no longer bleeding. I no longer see the bone.
Ah,
All right, I actually like this
Wait,
guy now.
I'm only halfway done. Can we go back to when the knights came in?
Wait! Oh shit! I misspelled this. We gotta go back. Oh jeez.
What was your name
How did
again?
you say this word?
The Knights
Oh
of
shit, I forgot to
Shane.
type Prince Elric. Oh god.
For
All
the
right, anyway.
70th time. Fuck! I'm so fired.
fuck.
All right. Anyway,
All right.
I'm so glad
Getting
they
to
don't
the
have
actual reading.
stenographers. I'm so glad they
All
don't
right.
have stenographers.
Don't laugh. You'll make me giggle. I can't read
Giggle,
without
giggle,
giggling.
giggle, giggle.
Okay. Hang on. Let me get a sip of
Bubbly.
the bubblies.
The
Mm.
bubbly.
Yes.
The bubbly. The bubbly.
Oh god, I'm so good.
You know how I feel.
Damn it. Alright. Oh, that'll work? I thought as I invoked it, and then, whoa! Neat! Ignoring all time and space, the bullet tumbled into my hand. All its energy gone. Are you okay? A disturbed-looking Hinata was already talking to Eldrick as she approached him.
Elric.
Elric.
Elric. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, the Velt.
Belt.
Velt, thank you. The D is silent. Got it. Velt leader appeared just as shocked as he stole a glance at me. I said nothing as I checked upon Elric. He didn't seem to understand what was going on. and
Checked
I was
up
just
on.
staring
You
at
don't.
his
It's
face.
not checked upon. Upon is one word. Up on. It's two words. You said upon.
I said as I checked up. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I checked up on. Okay, I see
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
did
yeah.
there. I said nothing as I checked up on Elric.
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 Like Edward and Alphonse.
Alpha
Mhm.
and Elric.
Yeah, Elric.
Mhm.
Like the fusion of their names.
No,
Elric.
no, it's exactly the
No, he's-
same. It's exactly the
Yeah.
same. It's
It's
Elric.
Edward. Like,
Oh!
his full name is Edward Elric. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Elric
oh.
and Alphonse Elric. Yeah.
Elric.
Mhm.
Okay.
Edward and Alphonse.
I feel
yeah.
I feel like I'm saying, and I'm like second guess, like, no, that's not how you say it. Damn it.
Yeah, their last names are Elric. So,
Right. Okay. I said nothing as I checked up on Elric. He didn't seem to understand what was going on and was just staring into space. Only a couple of us did know, really. But whatever happened must have triggered the building's magic security network. because alarms began going off chamber-wide. The session would have to adjourn for a while. Soe, capture the assassin!
I have a replication on its way.
As we waited for the counselors to calm down, I carried out the task demanded
Also,
of me.
why did you shout that? He just was like, so it counts. He's literally, it's
I
just
honestly,
a regular
I
ass
thought
sentence.
it was, and then I saw the period. I'm like, oh no, it's not.
It's like,
actually
so
yelling
it
it.
captured the assassin. I have a replication
Soe,
on its
go
way.
capture him, please.
Okay.
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 I carried out the task demanded of me. Already, was it what they demanded of him?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Anyway.
Already there was an investigation happening nearby. You could kill a person with this.
You could
Yes,
kill a person with
it's
this?
called.
Yep. It's
You
called
could kill a person with this. Yes, it's called a bullet. You need a special tool to fire it, but there's not a near us at the moment. So the assassin was targeting Prince Elric? But what for? To frame the demon lord, of course. Indeed. If Priest Elric was killed at this spot in time, suspicion would naturally turn to Lord Rimuru. It should certainly complicate our efforts to admit Tempest into the council. Into the council, sorry. Yes, that was probably the real motive. These fools were likely set up as disposable pawns the whole time. The security chief, sons of Veldrick leader, chairman Lessiter, thank you. Names fail me. And Hinata were discussing matters here. Hinata was talking dead. I was certainly glad to be cleared of doubt. Elric was safe now, although he need to face up to the commotion he caused in the chamber later. Am I being targeted even now? He asked, his face haggard. Sorry. Haggard. I let dinner there. Sorry.
It almost sounded like
Haggard.
he said haggis. It was like his face
Haggis.
is not haggis.
I had
I was
had
like,
haggis. And my
it would.
stomach
I
is
mean, if
digesting
that
it.
bullet had gone through it, it really would have been haggis.
He would have
Oh,
really
yes,
been
truly.
a haggis. He might have been a fool, but I didn't want him
Stuff
dead
it
or
all in a
anything.
sheep's bladder. And, you know.
Stomach.
Put a little
sheep stomach.
spice.
Sheep
We got a
stomach,
dinner
sorry.
here, guys.
You grind
What,
up
no
all the
one's going
organs
to
except the
eat me?
intestines.
No, I
Sassy.
get the intestines. Those are the best.
Oh,
ones.
okay.
I want the gizzard.
No, definitely not the intestines. The intestines is where the shit's made. No, you don't put that in there.
That's
I'm,
what the poo is.
I'm Winnie the Pooh. Anyway.
Mhm.
I called the gizzard.
Ugh. That's where
You know
stones
what?
are.
What's your? You know what? You did the most work, Shuna. What do you want? I'll give you some of mine. Here. I think it's all right now, Elric. Sorry, Prince Elric. When the assassin missed you, that put an end to the ambitions of of whoever wanted you dead. At this point, there's no reason for them to try again. By now, it was no longer possible to frame me for murder. Elric was no longer of use to them, you could say, and therefore he had no need to fear for his life. But I'm the prince of a superpower nation. People could exploit me in many ways, so many ways. You think so? Maybe he was vulnerable. As someone in line for the throne, before he pulled all that nonsense today. But he wasn't officially crown prince, and there was other people in line for the succession. Were in line for the success.
Were other people in line.
And there were other people in the line of succession. There we go. This point, if Elric had actually succeeded today, he would have been a hero, I suppose. But Inglacia wasn't easy enough on its royalty that an idiot prince doing dumb things would be allowed on the throne. Maybe the people would sympathize with his motives, but they'd never forgive him for screwing up. After today, Elric's chances of being King Elric someday were as good as gone. But hey, life's not all about being a king, is it? You'll probably need to atone. What's up?
Becoming king.
Oh. But hey, life's not all about becoming king, is it? You'll probably need to atone for today somehow, but after that, why don't you just try reconsidering your future a little? I mean, I became a demon lord just by sort of drifting along. But I never really wanted to be one or anything. There's no going back now on that. Sorry. But there's no going back on it now. So I figure I might as well take advantage. A demon lord offering me comfort? I thought you'd be scarier, more vengeful. I'm not trying to comfort you, but generally, I'm a pacifist. Elric's shoulders slumped down as he resigned himself to his fate. I was a fool to be tricked like that. Gaben, it's
Goodbye.
time for you to...
Gaben.
Gabon.
Gaben.
I was a fool to
Gaben?
be tricked like that,
Gabon.
Gabon. It's time for you to take
Oh,
responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a fool to be tricked like that, Gabon. It's time for you to take responsibility. Prince! Or is it more gruff?
That's
He's a
fine.
bigger guy. Prince! You were the one who approached me. I fell for your
Cajole.
cajoling, and I must atone for that. But you had best prepare to do the same, Count Gaben.
Gabon.
Gabon.
Gabon. Gaben! I don't know why I want to say that.
Gay?
Gabon. Gaben. I never ever said gay.
You heard it here. You heard it here. Sonic wants to ban the gays.
Oh shit.
How dare you?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Out so we can vote on it.
No.
We are the appropriate building for it.
No. No.
All right.
No.
No.
Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Elric had now fully given himself up to the security team. It was pretty obvious that Gabon.
Gabon.
I wanted to say it again, but I had to physically stop myself.
Dude, if you call him Gay Ban one more time, I
I
swear
was
to
going
God.
to.
I don't know. All I think is
I was-
Gabe Newell. That's all I see.
I'm telling you
I'm like,
right now,
no.
if you say Gay Ban, I'm just like, all right, so hey, take over.
Okay.
Alvin is the main person
I'm
behind all of this.
I'm literally gonna have to give it back to Shem to finish it if you call him Gay
Yeah,
Ban
okay.
again.
We won't.
I'm trying not to.
Because you're gonna get us in so much trouble from
I'm
Twitch
trying not to.
talking about gay bands.
Caveman.
Where's the really long cane? We need a quick
Ugh.
check. Yoinking with the cane like in the old cartoons.
Yoinkus. Yep.
I should start these instead of
Oh,
Just start
man.
playing
Alright,
the music while he's doing his speech.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my
Hello, behind all this.
All right.
Okay,
Good.
hang on. I'm gonna
It was pretty obvious.
go. It was pretty obvious that Galban, the
Gabon,
main Gabon, thank you.
not Galban. Where did you find an L?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like
Galban,
that,
brother.
dude. By the time we get through this, his name is gonna be Gallbladder.
Oh.
You
Hey,
are,
at least
you
we
are
know we're gonna be
seriously.
removing the gallbladder later, right?
You are seriously
No one
making
clipped
this
it.
way more complicated than it needs to be. It's only
I'm
a,
not trying, I
it's-
promise.
it's a 5-letter
Galban.
word, dude.
Gabe.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was pretty obvious that Galban was the main person.
Gabon!
Gabon! We make such a
did it
big deal
again.
that I forget. Gabon.
Look,
Okay.
Gabon.
It was pretty obvious that Gabon was the main
There we
person
go.
behind all of this.
Mhm.
Rounding
Goblin!
up Elric and convincing them to call this wild scene. I'm sure someone else is using Gabon too. That
Yay!
mysterious
Good man. You're doing
Okay.
great.
Sorry, we had
that
to take a
mysterious
moment.
organization.
We have to
perhaps.
we had to take a moment to celebrate that he said the name right, and there was much
Yes.
rejoicing. Yeah.
Yay.
You know you're gonna make a joke in the abridged series if we ever get to this point now.
No one can say his name right. Listen, Goblin Gabon.
No, you have to have me voice the person who says his name the most. This is the joke.
No. Just
Bold
all
of
the
you,
counselors who
bold
ever
of you
referred
to
him.
assume that
Mr.
I'll ever
Gabon.
remember.
I'm
Got him.
all the council members.
By the time we
Mr.
get this,
Gabiru.
by the time we
Mr.
finally get
Gabiru?
this far, By the time
my name is Gabon.
by the time we get this far and by the time the anime actually gets this far and we catch up to the anime, I'll have forgotten all about this.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Someone might remember this and refer. All of us are gonna be like, "That happened."
Dude,
I don't
I'm telling you
Why would I
guys,
do some
I'm
stupid-
telling you guys, these are clippable moments that we could probably put up
No,
as like
no one clip this, please. No
Too
one.
li-
No.
oh God,
Clip it.
I
no,
really
Clip
hope
it.
it's
Clip
No,
it.
I'm
already
so
clipped.
embarrassed. I don't need that embarrassment on my conscience. No, please.
Gaban.
No.
It's like their
What?
Ray Bans.
Schemes
It's like their
Gabon.
it's like their Ray Bans, but he put a G in front of it instead. You know, replace the R with the G. They're gay bands. The new
Did you guys
sunglasses.
hear that?
Yes.
It sounds
Yeah,
like Zoe's revving
somebody's dick is having a hard time,
I know,
rather- or rather,
it's
a
like
very soft
9:30.
one.
Yeah. Anyway,
up. Okay.
Sorry about your dick.
I know
Sorry
for
to hear
real. He
about
does
your
that
penis,
every
bud.
fucking
Sorry about that. All right.
blubber.
You too?
Anyway,
Earlier we were watching stuff. Jackass on a fucking motorcycle just goes back and forth.
yeah, he
got-
does this like every day.
He's
Oh,
got
Down
he's
the
got
fucking road.
penis
Anyway,
problems.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can't write it off as a controversial theory. It's probably best to conduct a full investigation, but not even Soe's found any clues yet. If we could capture the sniper, though, maybe that'll lead somewhere or to something. Let's hold. Hold on. Let's hold out hope for that.
Hold
Meanwhile-
on.
Meanwhile, there's someone else I need to consult about.
Meanwhile, in our universe.
So, this person. There's something I
No,
wanted to ask
no, no,
Say it. Say it.
you. Galvin.
nope.
Damn it!
Try again. Try again for a Zinni. Look at his name. Is there an L in that name?
No.
Where did Galban come from? Galban.
Galvin.
He's from Galbany.
Galvin. There's something I wanted to ask.
His name is Gabon.
I turned my eyes to Gabon in custody.
No,
Yes!
you gotta go
What?
back to the beginning of the sentence and read
Damn
it from
it!
the beginning, you fucker. You don't get to cheat your way through.
So, Gabon. There's something I wanted to ask. I turned my eyes to Gabon in custody.
There we go. 2 Gabons in a row.
There we go.
What?
Let's go.
What does a demon lord want from me? Even now, his attitude has still had problems. I
By
want
the
you
way-
to tell me about...
By the way, this isn't the soldier guy. Gabon is one of the counselors.
Oh, jeez. So we got through so much of that. A lot happened there. It's like I'm kind of confused who's who. I know Rainier is like one of the counselors. Then there's Prince Eldrick or Elric.
Elric.
Rainer was the soldier.
Eldrick. He's an Eldrick horror. I mean, given some of the shit that the prince was up to, yeah,
Shit. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
kind
Well,
of
then
an
he
Eldrick
fought,
horror.
and it's like I don't know. Like I said, a lot happened there.
All right.
I want you to tell me what you were scheming when you enticed Prince Elric to join you. I'm not sure what you mean. Why am I Sean Connery there? What the hell?
I'm not sure what you mean.
not
How
sure
did
what
I
you're talking
suddenly
about.
become Monkey D. Luffy?
I'm not sure what you mean.
You
I don't
shaved
know
me yet
anything.
again, baby seal. But you
What?
still have
What?
all your hair.
What? Are you abandoning me? And where's your evidence? Yes, I was asked by the prince to invite you here. But I certainly had no idea he could try something like that. I'm just gonna
God
do it with whatever
fucking
voice. I don't
damn
give a
it!
shit anymore.
God fucking damn, no!
I just don't care anymore.
Okay.
All right, he's given up. He's given up. He's clearly lost his marbles. He can't say Gabon. Shem, you're just gonna have to.
Broke me,
You're gonna have to.
guys.
You're gonna have to take it home. We gotta get. All
Sorry.
right, I,
Take you
Okay,
all way out
okay.
of this circuit,
yeah,
man.
please
Yeah.
help him. Please help him get through this
got
madness. We gotta get out of here
I'm too
before.
giggly now.
We
Okay.
gotta get out of here before
will.
10:45. Jesus Christ.
Okay, you
Yes,
got
please.
it.
Yeah.
You will not talk your
Gotta go
way out of
fast.
this, Sir Johan. Both the other counselors and I in this chamber will speak against your case. Johan was having none of it, and neither were the assorted representatives nodding along with him, including a few being forced to keep standing. No problem finding witnesses then. But it's true. I didn't know. The prince designed all of this. All I did was follow his orders. Nonsense. You're the very one who procured the orb and brought the plan to me. I can't say I know what you're talking about. Again, you will need to find some proof. Gabon was sticking to his story, and as sly as I'm sure he was,
It's
Gay Ben?
gay ban.
I'm sorry, it's pronounced Gaben.
Oh
sir,
my God,
and I will
damn it.
thank you
Galaben.
to appreciate to put some respect on this good man's name.
He's acting like a real gaboon.
Gabino.
What a buffoon.
We're starting to. No, we're gabbing at
Back
straws
on.
now.
We're gabbing at straws, man.
We're gabbing. We need to stop gabbing and finish this book.
Oh,
Okay.
Why
we
is
need to
all
get on the horse and
funniest
jump into a
giggles
gabbing.
happy when I have
Guys,
to read
guys,
and
guys,
Jeff has to take over?
focus, concentrate.
I'm trying, okay.
Concentrate. Remember,
Dead babies.
gab
Dead
on,
babies.
gab off.
Oh, no.
Dead Gabens.
oh my God.
Oh,
Look, let's just make
We're
it easier
never-
for everyone and let's just
Dude,
start calling him
what?
Goober.
just anything.
One, two,
Oh, wow,
whatever
that
we
would have been
name.
nice to know. The
We
first
literally
couple
have
times
4
I've said.
pages left in the chapter, and
Okay.
this is what's killing us.
Oh, come on.
God
Go on.
damn it.
Yeah, my section that we have to take.
God fucking damn it. Like,
Oh,
to be
He
fair, this is all your fault. You called him Gayban, and that started it. Like, you called him Gayban, and that, like, literally.
Why
I just-
couldn't you
I'm
just
sorry,
let me
all I
call
hear-
him? It would have been fine.
You've been
And then
hearing-
chastise
here's the
me
thing.
later.
Listen, you've
all I hear is
literally been.
Gaben. Like,
You've literally been
Gaben.
hearing us.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
However, for me, I watched a whole lot of Gmod Idiot Box, so it's gay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
That's exactly where it went.
Here's the thing. You've literally been hearing us all night call this man Gabon.
Gabon.
We've been
Gabon,
calling him Gabon
Gabon.
all goddamn night.
It's been Even when we first debated the name, we settled on Gabon.
Can I just call him Giabian?
Gay ban?
God damn it.
Gaban. Gaban.
Oh,
Okay. I'll go.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we gotta get the giggles out.
He must have been
God.
convinced that no evidence
This is what
was
happens
left.
when you
Fucking
This is
noodles,
what-
man.
Cat.
Look,
Yeah, I just wanna
say his name backwards. Nabag.
In the bag.
Back.
It's all in the
Nabag.
bag.
It's in the bag
Chat.
now.
Yeah, I just want to say this is what happens when we start reading with me giggly. This is what
Yeah,
happens.
it's
Oh
No,
my
this is
God.
just
I
what
warned you.
happens when you start reading in general. We'll end up here. We
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 will.
just have a
you-
whole stream of me reading. We'll have
You
a
will-
Hey,
fucking
we
this
save
time
you
and a
for
half.
laugh.
This
last.
is why
You
we
give us
say,
the
yeah,
laughs.
this is why we save you for last, because we know that the train is gonna go off the rails.
Choo-choo!
This whoop. Anyway.
Fuck.
Who was that?
I
Anyway.
don't know. It sure as hell wasn't the conductor.
That's
No,
Thomas
that was
flying
the train
off the rail.
going off the rails.
That
Choo-choo!
Oh, that was Thomas. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, I just-
Wait, where's Percy?
Da, da, da,
Oh
da.
my God.
Good.
Hey,
Alright.
at least we nah.
Well,
Shut
I
up,
love
we
how
gotta
you all
read.
are-
Shut up.
Okay.
There
I
are
was
words
gonna
that
say,
need
I
to be
love how
read.
you're all just
We're
chatting.
gonna keep
We're going
joking if we don't
45,
stop.
and it's 37
And it's-
already.
Shut the fuck
It's gonna
up.
be
Shim needs to
fucking
read
grocery
words.
puns all over again.
Shut the
trying.
fuck up. Shim needs to
Shem.
read
Okay.
words.
Okay. And as sly as I'm sure he was, he must have been convinced that no evidence was left. Would it be hard to pin anything on him then? It probably damaged his reputation for a period of time, but at this rate, I could see him returning to the scene after a while. That's nobility for you. You can't take your eyes off them for a moment. They'll never go down too easily. A more direct approach, with weapons, would be quickest, but that was a last resort. As I thought about this, the door suddenly opened. His Majesty, the King Igel is here. The attendant's shout was audible. Yeah, was audible across the chamber, and those responding to it immediately stood at attention. I was about to join them before Shuna and Benimaru stopped me. Yeah, me kneeling or whatever would have presented an awkward picture. Apart from Hinata and me, however, everyone was focused entirely on the new royal visitor. Even the chairman was bowing his head. That's the kind of respect the king of a nation like Inglacia deserved. King Igo glanced at the counselors Soe had restrained. He didn't linger on them long before turning to me, his bushy blonde hair going well with his curly mustache. I see my son's caused you some trouble. You could say that, but I think we've cleared up our misunderstandings. I had no intention of exaggerating things. If human society could accept us, better let a little rudeness now and then slide. Ah, very good. Then as his father, not as a king, I give you my apology and my appreciation. He lightly bowed his head at me, the king himself. I was willing to accept that. Consider it forgiven, but I don't want to see a repeat. Yes, that I am certainly aware of. I hope to build a good relationship with you. King Igo looked straight at me, providing me with what I felt were his honest feelings. I figured I should trust him on that. If he reneged, okay, I could consider my option at that time. It'll be good to work with you then, and with you. We shook hands. He was also kind enough to forgive the busted-up desk, so as far as I was concerned, a reconciliation was complete. All rise. Everyone raised their faces. They had all overheard our exchange, but I suppose this formality indicated that it wasn't meant to be on the record. A king wasn't supposed to bow to a foreign power that readily, and I suppose King Eigel saw it as a last resort. Father! Enough. You need some remedial education, I see. Yes, father. With a nod, King Eigel turned to Gabon. Count Gabon. Your Majesty! You were talking about evidence. Were you expecting a quick escape because you thought I wouldn't intervene? No, Your Majesty. Not at all. I have called for magical inquisitors. I will let them decide your treatment. Yeah. Now, King
Nobody expects
now
the
Gabon.
Inquisition does.
Yeah. Now Gabon seemed concerned. He clung to the king. Please, forgive me. I will tell you everything, so please, Your Majesty, have mercy. His desperation might have evoked sympathy among some people, but King Eigel's reaction was merciless. Take him away. Sir. One glance at his attendants, and his royal guard sprang into action. Now, Sir Rainer. Sir Gay.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
love.
been able to
Yes,
do that.
Yeah,
yes,
yes.
the king.
You
the
took
king.
that from me.
Yeah.
Now, Sir Rainer, Sir Gay.
All right,
And
hold
then
on,
Gay
hold
just
on,
sitting
hold
there
on, hold
like,
on.
"No, you
Everybody on three. We'll all get the gays out. Yeah, God damn it.
God.
Okay, but
Oh my God.
Get
He's
Here,
right.
let
Get
me
back
get
in
to my
here.
closet real quick.
Oh God.
Bring
Why?
all the
Right.
gays
Oh,
out.
please, you came out long ago.
Okay.
anyway.
Oh, sweetie, you're too kind.
Anyway.
Guard
All right,
began
Sir,
to haul them
Sir
off.
Rainer and Sir. 1,
Gay.
2, 3.
Good. Gaiman.
All right, cool. God damn
Come
it.
with us as well.
No.
He said it. He said it.
We're not banning the gays, we welcome them.
How
I
dare
fucked it up
you.
again, didn't I?
God.
We
I
accept
said you
gays
said
into
it.
our loving arms.
Unfortunately,
He got it. He got it.
fuck.
Harmony. Yeah, we were trying. Kinda. The guard began to haul them off. Stop! Let me go! Who do you think I am? They tried to resist, but they were stopped in their tracks by a group of hooded men that appeared. Those magical
Bitch.
inquisitors exposed. Yeah. Rainer and Gay tried to resist them as well, but the men had them subdued in short order, treating those admittedly powerful men like little children. I could tell these weren't your average prison guards, too. No. Inglacia really is a superpower, huh? They got some pretty tough hombres working for them. Hombres?
Man, those
Hombres.
hombres are pretty tough. Big ass dude in black armor. The fuck did you just call me?
In the middle
Report.
of...
In the middle of what?
Sorry, in Japan, just hombre?
Yeah.
Huh?
Glacia really is a superpower, huh? And they really got some pretty tough
sorry about
hombres working for them.
Report. It is likely a show of force to prove to my master that they have powerful fighters at their disposal.
Ah, one of those don't mess with us things.
Yeah,
This must have been their way of demonstrating, yeah.
definitely wondering why they're wearing sombreros.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to read this. Hold on.
Is this a
Yeah.
Spanish?
Iglesias really is a superpower, huh? They got some pretty tough hombres working for them.
Right?
Thank you.
You
That's
were
why I read it.
About that.
Dude, you were super
That's really
fucked up. Like,
That's pretty fucked up, bro.
I was not expecting you to have that voice.
That was
I
really
know,
funny.
right?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Now we have to read this in
All right,
Spanish
anyway.
accents.
No,
now for
we
the rest of
don't.
the
No,
Oh, shit, no, we ain't gotta go
no.
that far.
No.
got it.
Go that far.
day. Okay.
This must have been their way of demonstrating that Rainer wasn't the best Inglacia could produce, an attempt to preserve their dignity. It's hard being a king. I guess he had to stay on his toes to keep a demon lord like me from taking advantage of him. As if Eigel wouldn't have used my power to make Inglacia the world's dominant force if Elric hadn't actually succeeded. Well, if you wanted to keep a legion of sly cunning ability under your finger, I suppose you needed that type of malice in you. Excuse me then, and please allow us to handle this affair. With that, the king's entourage left. They confiscated the Orb of Domination too, by the looks of it. But I didn't mind. I had already disabled it while no one was looking. It wouldn't do to see it used for evil purposes. Just also wouldn't do it also wouldn't do for me to carry on about it any longer, so I let it go without comment. Following an afternoon break, we continue with the legislative session. Councilors seemed a lot less energetic than they were in the morning hours, somehow. That was lucky for me because I didn't need to cajole them into passing all the days important business. The following 3 resolutions were enacted today. Tempest is recognized as a nation. Tempest will officially join the council. The council's military rights will be assigned to Tempest. These were accepted without protest and passed, barring any issues by unanimous vote. It was a long road to get there, but everything I wrote up for the council was accepted in the end. I'm really not good at this level of brinkmanship with a room full of hungry sharks. People can scoff at my ideas all they want, but having to feel out my opponent's mind and objectives just tires me out. I think I'll let Raphael handle that for me from now on.
You should have fucking let Raphael handle it from the get-go, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
Raphael,
Today
I think
it
you're lying.
was...
Okay, fine, understood.
You have
Look,
one?
Sorry, I wasn't
I
responsible
had-
to the
look,
meeting.
look.
Energy and I went.
Look,
Yeah.
it had a dramatic pause in the beginning. I'm making him wait.
Yeah, that's fair. Today it was brute strength that let me take control of my problems. If I didn't lash out first, it was Hinata and that charming young Shuna. In fact, I was the guy who saved Elric's life. This amply demonstrated the broadness of my heart, I think, so I was pretty satisfied with myself. What's more, I had taught them all a valuable lesson. Attempting physical force against a demon lord was meaningless. The session behind us, we left the chamber. It was a stormy day, but now it was finally over.
I'm sorry,
Hey.
it's what?
Meaningless.
God damn.
Sorry.
Also, I want to go ahead and point out that we literally start out with Glinda Atlee, so literally the next thing is the assassin versus Soe. So yeah, that Shem, can't wait for you to read that. Next week.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Battle grunts.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's quite.
Gotta
as
do your
much
vocal
that, but-
warm-ups before next stream.
Your vocal
Yeah.
warm-ups for Soe? Oh boy. Yeah. You have to you have to very calmly read the alphabet or some shit. Yeah. A, B,
How do you do
C,
Soe's grunts?
D, E, F, G,
Seashells by the seashore.
Element.
I mean, here's the beautiful thing. Soe ASMR is literally just Soe talking.
True.
Welcome back to my ASMR stream. We're here to eat a whole loaf of bread very slowly and very carefully. You know,
Soe's OnlyFans.
No, literally,
It's
I
wheat
love
bread.
that. I love that idea. Soe just shows up with a bunch of Soe shows up and he's like surrounded by like a bunch of like actual fans, like folded fans, and he's just like unfolding. He's like unfolding them, and
Like
Shuna just walks in. It's like, what are you doing? He's like, it's my OnlyFans.
OnlyFans?
Well, Soe has OnlyFans. I have
Rimuru said I'm really good
OnlyFans.
at it.
Yeah. Soe has OnlyFans.
Speaking of
There
which,
you go.
I'm actually thinking about stealing that name because I came up with a beautifully stupid idea
OnlyFans.
using my little hand puppets thing,
God
and I'm just
damn
gonna
it.
call it Only Hands.
By the way,
sponsored
guys.
by
By the way,
Roberts.
guys. I need to go ahead and
Clowns.
point this out to. I need to go ahead and point this out to you guys. For those of you who are not patrons, first off, what the fuck? Become a patron.
What the fuck?
What the
What the
fuck?
fuck?
Stop.
Donate to
just
shit.
stop it.
Donate to Soe's OnlyFans.
Stop it. Stop it.
Get some
Don't
Give some
get some
money.
help. Don't get some help. Become our help. We need the help.
become our
Clearly, clearly, for just
We
a
need
dollar
so
a day.
much help.
For just a
We
dollar
need
a day.
so much goddamn help.
For just a dollar a day, we can get this man reading lessons so he can learn the difference between Gabon and Gayban.
And Galvin and Gabiroo
Gaben.
and Gaboon
Gaben.
and Gobi and Gooper.
We were
and
so
Gavin.
close. We were this close away from being at Gaboon.
You were really
Kaboom!
close to going to
Oh,
Gamcha.
shit.
You just call him Gamcha.
Next time I'll just call him Caboose.
Gabirumon!
Where Gabuirama?
Gabirumon! Alright.
Well, next time I'll just call him Caboose, and then he'll have a line.
Where
I demand
Gabumon?
cookies.
The wings of love.
I
hate baby.
I mean, the funny
Great.
thing is, I
Mhm.
don't think he shows up again. So
Ah,
Probably
no.
doesn't.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that I entertained you that much today.
Wait, there's someone named Glenda. He could, he could call her
He might.
Glinda.
He might. Glinda.
Glinda.
God, he kept calling Beretta Beatrice for a time. So
Did I? I don't remember this.
yes.
no,
you
oh no,
did.
you absolutely, yeah.
You know what?
Can
I
I
was
share-
about to.
I
almost
stayed
flipped that
silent for
train
that
out.
because I was like, is this a joke that I'm not a part of? I don't.
It's
No,
a joke.
no, I came back and
Oh
I'm
my
sitting there going, wait, how long has this been going on? How long has he been calling her Beatrice? It's
And that was when
Beretta.
I realized, oh,
Travis,
it's
man.
nothing. Oh
Can I-
no.
Should I
No!
share
The
something
whole
really?
time.
Yeah.
Can I share something really funny about the name Beatrice?
But
Yeah.
Glenda. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so like my friends and I, when we were playing D&D a little while ago, one of my
Uh-huh.
friends was a DM, and he's sick like a monster that was a statue that would like beat us up, right? Like hit us over the head with stuff, and like he had a
Lady
magic spell on
Chan.
it where you had to say its name, and then the spell would break and it would stop attacking you.
Lady Chan,
So,
get
like,
in here.
Yeah, please get in here. We're just BSing around now. But
Oh,
anyway,
it's so much
We're
my
just
fun.
friend,
talking.
he had the
Talking about
box.
gaming.
There was a box in the corner that had the actual statue's name, and my friend pulled it out,
Posture
and
check,
he was
everybody.
handed the slip. There we go. And he was like, the name was Beatrice, but one of my friends picks it up and goes, "Beat rice."
Okay, what?
And
What?
so the statue hit him over the head after
Oh,
looking at him
oh,
confused, like,
Hold on.
what? Oh,
Natural
hello.
20. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
Gotta
God damn it.
get some water. Give me a fucking minute.
This isn't technically a D20, but where is it? There we go. We got a 20. There we go. It's Magic the Gathering dice.
I'm not good with names. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Beatrice.
Random citizen.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Oh
hydrate.
God. Oh God. Lady Chan, what did you do?
Jesus Christ, and I was like,
You
yes.
doubled up on them, so now it's just constantly going on and on and on.
On and on and on.
I already finished my
Boom,
bottle of water.
clap, na, 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 the beat goes on and on and on and on. Okay,
Where'd he go? Oh,
here's your nat 20.
I don't know where it is to turn it off.
Lady Chan broke his
well, that's a
code.
big D6 or D20.
Yes, it's definitely 6 sides at least.
I
Does
can't
it
get
fill
it to turn off. I can't get
but
it to
is it-
turn off.
16,
Ooh.
sure.
Lady Chan broke the system.
That's a good roll. even though it wasn't
Literally,
a-
I can't get it to turn
And
off.
she's gone. And she's gone.
Guys,
Yep.
I can't get it to fucking turn off. The sound alerts are just going off.
Uh-oh.
I can't hear anything.
It's
I
broke.
You
didn't
guys
even
can't hear
hear it.
anything on there?
Uh-uh.
I'm hearing it
Well,
all
I'm
the
not in-
time.
Hold on.
No, I
Oh,
can't hear anything.
I'm
Hold on.
I'm
So,
hearing it the whole time.
Mm.
Oh, I have an ad playing on the stream. I can't see it.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
turned on
I'm
the
hearing
sound
it.
Stream, the stream sound now. I can hear it.
Mm.
Yeah, okay,
barely hear
so
it.
I don't have the sound alerts turned on I don't
Lady
think I have the
broke
sound
it.
alerts turned on wait, what?
Yeah, it's still just going.
Yeah,
I gotta get through like the Red Bull ad.
the fucking thing has been broken.
Oh boy.
Wait,
You know,
Lady
how
Chan
how funny
broke-
is it? Lady Chan,
Hey,
the voice
No,
of the
she came in
destroyed
Try
here and
villain
she
redeeming.
broke
doubled on the
system.
thing. I can't fucking fix it. I can't.
let's try redeeming something.
Have you already redeemed them?
Refresh Bowser source when it becomes active. Use custom frame control audio via OBS. Okay.
I didn't realize how much echo I have.
Okay,
too,
there it is. There's the sound alert. I can actually turn it off now, but like it's
Oh, now I
going.
heard it. Yeah, I hear it now. I heard it.
Well, that was fun, everyone.
See,
Okay, so there we go. Okay, so somebody can. Okay, so holy shit,
yes.
Holy cats!
Lady Chan, get in here.
Has my mic been a little echoey
Come
this whole
on.
time too? I noticed
Come
that.
on, lady.
A little
I don't
bit.
know.
I don't think you
Once I
sound
can fix-
terrible, but
see if it
I'm
can't
just
be
sad that
turned
my
up.
internet keeps
Oh, I see
fucking up
that.
my Goodreads.
Is that better? I noticed the gain of my mic was a little up.
Yeah, I
higher
think
than
I think
normal.
Oh,
the
yeah.
only two people that have had like decent shit happen this whole time have been like me and Shim as far as like the internet not interrupting and like being
mine
able to
dropped a
say
couple
names.
times, but yeah.
Yours isn't that bad.
Yeah,
My
that it was
internet
just
hasn't been
before that
bad,
one time
but,
before I
yeah.
found the computer cooler laptop thing because my
Mm.
laptop is old and my connection was kind of bad. So it would get kind of hot and then it would like hate the world. So
For
It's
me,
the
I
best.
just got to stick on 5 gigahertz channel, which I have
Mhm.
the worst connection to, but it is also the best connection of the
Yes.
2 channels. So
five
I have no choice but to
5
use that one.
gigahertz doesn't have any interference.
Yeah,
Exactly.
2.4
However,
is longer range, but it's weaker.
yeah, because of how far I am away from the fucking modem, it's a pain in the ass.
It could be your firewall too. How
Mm.
strong is your firewall?
It's just the built-in Windows.
Okay. Because I was gonna say sometimes if you have a high firewall setting on, then sometimes your packets aren't coming through, or you know what I mean. Like they're not. Some of your packets are being sent and some of them aren't. So it can get
Okay.
fucky. So I don't know. It's strange. I could go into more network details, but you know,
Yeah.
it's
It was fun last time we did that, though. I had a lot of fun with that.
that was true. Did you
Yeah.
ever find a way to clock your PC?
So no,
Overclock
I
it?
couldn't overclock the PC, but I figured out that which program it was that was causing me so much interference. It was the Genie or the interface that I use to work with the Wi-Fi dongle I have on here. I thought if ever I hit, cancel that.
And I love you, random citizen.
That it would
Program.
turn off the internet. And then there was one day I just got pissed with it, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to turn it off and try playing Destiny on my own. So I did. And then suddenly Destiny was running absolutely better. And I'm sitting here like, that was it? That's all I had
Yeah.
to fucking do?
I mean, sometimes it is as simple as that, but you never know with
Yeah.
these computer things. You just have to try
I-
stuff
Oh,
and
yeah.
figure it out and hope it works. So
Moon, I had an
Mhm.
issue with like similar to that where my computer would think it was overheating. It
Heck.
shut down because the RGB would go red, would turn to the red light, or even the yellow light, and it would just turn off the computer. And I was at the
Oh.
point where I was almost like, I have to do a clean reinstall of Windows. This is unbelievable. And all I did was turn it off, and it was like the smart RGB setting, and I'm like, I guess maybe it's just either too smart or just really dumb.
too much power. I don't know. That's my only thinking.
Also, Spider, I am
RGB
not a
lighting,
moon man.
that's it.
I'm a moonlight.
Eh,
It sounded funny in
yeah.
my head.
Don't expect a moon
Making
man to
light of the
understand your
situation.
Earth tech.
Good, fantastic.
Mm.
Oh, we're still on the air. We were talking about networking stuff. Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah, we're
still
still
on the
streaming.
air. I never took us
We're
off.
still going.
We're waiting
Yep.
for
I
Lady
never even
Chan to
thought.
get here.
I was like, oh
apparently.
shit.
Oi!
Some part of my
Fuck
brain was
you!
like, oh hey, we're talking about networking. Good. That's fine. Sorry. That's what I do when I'm not here. Is basically internet shit. So it's like okay.
But you're
well,
not Soe,
Spider
you're
said
tech
not a
support.
very bright one.
I mean, both him and I have to deal with web somehow. So the
Good
web.
one. The webbing.
hmm
Okay, let me.
The World
try
Wide
this.
Web and the Rimuru Wide Web.
I love you,
Yeah.
crocodile!
And I love
Sticky
you,
stuff.
random citizen.
So a secreted web.
Okay, that's really weird. It does not show on the thing. It's not physically showing up. That's really weird.
I heard
can hear it.
Megamind.
You heard
And I love
Megamind?
you, random citizen.
That's not
Yeah.
Megamind. That's One Piece Alabasta Bridge.
Interesting.
But okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Either way.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
And I love you, random citizen.
We got
Mhm.
Steve and the Direwolves here.
Should I say-
Are you hearing it on the stream or are you hearing it from me? That's the question.
So it was hearing it from you. It was not directly on the stream. It was coming through your headphones that your microphone was picking up.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, it's not
okay.
coming. It's not being picked up on my end on the stream. So
Still a
that's the
little
problem.
echoey.
Also, Spider.
Then
Stop.
Normal.
I really need to fix this
Shut
mic sound,
up,
so I don't know
Steve.
why it's kinda bugging
Okay,
me.
so I've added the sound alerts. They should be working, but
Oh, wait a minute.
like I don't know what's going on, why they're not working. Overlapping alerts, purple thing, enable and
Hiding in the corner is super fucking normal.
Okay. Install
Guess I got a bit
extension
too
on Twitch has been installed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's okay. The moon is
hopefully
made of
that
cheese. Did you
fixed
not
it.
hear?
Cheese grommet.
Just crackers about cheese.
Oh, gosh.
Setup manager.
I'm sorry. Whenever he like ate the thing, it looked really good. When I was a kid, I wanted to eat it, even though
Access
it
Yeah,
was
for sure.
obviously not edible. But he's like cutting it up, and then he puts it on the cracker, and it makes that really satisfying crunch sound. I was like, "Ooh, I
Oh,
want to eat
yeah.
that."
So
That-
I always loved the way honey looked when Winnie the Pooh ate it.
Oh yeah, because it looks like like goopy,
Yeah.
like vanilla-y honey
And like
stuff.
real honey is delicious, but for some reason that is not
Mhm.
the flavor I expected whenever I saw Winnie the Pooh eat it. It's just like I don't know what I expected, but I'm sitting there like, God damn, that looks delicious.
I heard that like honey straight from the honeycomb is so much different than having it in like a
Yes,
bottle.
it is. Yes,
Really?
yes,
Not
it
know.
is. Yes, it is. It is so
Mhm.
different.
I heard that you can get really sick by eating a lot of it though,
All
so
right.
you have to be careful.
So back to
Oh,
slime.
you like a teaspoon,
So back
maybe?
to slime.
Like eating bee vomit.
Yeah. Slime.
Wow. Okay. So back to
That's what
slime.
honey is.
What did you guys think of it? What did you guys think of slime? This.
Oh, this was so
time?
much fun.
Yeah. It's just it still astounds me that people just completely keep underestimating Rimuru and the people that he makes friends with. And just
And
the
also,
blatant like grave diggery going on all the time.
Mm.
Like
And then-
unprompted grave diggery.
oh yes, and seeing Rimuru get fully and very justifiably pissed off was just fun.
Mm.
He's always so happy-go-lucky all the time, except for like of course when Chion died, but
Yeah.
You see a
But
little bit of
still.
that here, though.
She got better.
Dave.
she got better.
Got better.
Mm.
She turned me into a newt.
A
got
newt.
better.
Wait, what?
Got
Good.
better. Okay.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
See,
I mean,
don't
there's
know-
a lot
okay,
of political
see,
stuff.
I don't know what happened. I think it's because I updated OBS.
There,
Oh,
I will
well,
That,
say.
this-
that could do it.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be part of it.
Updates
but I mean,
like to fuck things up.
Mm.
I will say though,
I do
there's
have
nothing.
I do have the browser set up as I was supposed to. The source code is still the same. Like I have the URL thing set up like it's supposed to be. Like I haven't changed anything. Just have it all set up like I'm supposed to. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here, dude?
I will say my thoughts
on
on this. There's nothing that I find more interesting in this than angry Rimuru. Because angry Rimuru is a completely different beast than normal Rimuru.
Angry.
And I love it. Because when I first saw him in the season 2 show, I was picturing a mix of Frieza and Vader in a way, because the mask. I see a little. I know we were talking about Dragon Ball and everything early on, so that might be influencing my vision or my opinion of him here. But like, it kind of remind me of a mini Frieza a little bit.
Mini Frieza.
Mini Mario.
what if-
2 or 3
what if-
more.
What if Frieza was a pacifist, basically?
Mm.
No, I don't want to destroy your planet. Just give me the damn Dragon Balls.
I
Then you're just-
I just want to be a member of your council, you know? I want to reap the benefits of your kingdoms and nations. Not the other way around when you do blatant stuff like what was in that contract? That list of unreasonable demands. We actually have to go back in the book and find those. I know it was Moon reading him off.
There's a character in my
Quick,
head who
Zalman,
is.
grab my bowl.
David, grab my balls quickly.
Oh, God.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're making that a thing for the stream. Apparently.
Had to throw that out there.
Yes, realized it the moment I said it.
Yay, Ben!
Galban. Yeah.
He yells angrily.
Galwan.
Mm-hmm. Galban.
No, you fucking
Gorbatron.
Galbon.
Jeez.
Gorbachev.
Gorbachev. Ugh.
Yeah.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Tear down.
What the fuck? My name is Gabon, and what wall are you talking about?
Damn it, gay Ben, we don't have time for
What
this.
wall are you talking to? I'm sorry, that's
a little fuck up.
that's a really
No
funny
wonder,
expression.
no wonder
What
Gabal
wall are you
turned
talking
against
to,
Rimuru
man?
in the council. Everyone kept getting his name wrong.
I like
Look,
it.
Mr. Glaben, Gabon.
Glavin.
Yeah, Gaben, whatever.
It's just like Mr. Glaben said, Gabon.
Mr.
Look,
Gabachino.
I'm standing in Hedy Lamar's footprints, Headley.
There's like one other person that corrects him. Is like, shut up.
Mr.
It's
Gobstopper.
like, actually, I think his name is Gabon.
Gabon.
Shut up. Shut
Yeah.
up, you kiss up.
No, someone says his name correctly and he says one of the wrong spellings. He just goes, damn it!
Like, no, that's
As
not.
you can see, Gabon.
No,
It's
my name is
Gabarino.
Gabon.
You
said
my name
Gavin.
right. Damn it!
Okay, channel point.
Wait, no, my name.
Back.
Wait, no, wait, you actually said it right. Damn it! He's just
I
so
mean, like
used to people having to
anime.
correct him. Or having to correct
Oh,
him.
Violet Evergarden has a full Blu-ray collection.
I love you, crocodile!
And I love you, random citizen.
Ooh.
Damn it! I'm trying to see if I can get the stupid
Janet.
thing to play.
I love you.
Oh yeah,
Crocodile.
this sounds good.
Did anyone ever play the One Piece game? I'm actually curious about how that is.
Odyssey, you mean?
Yeah, the open world-esque kind of thing.
I
Okay.
played a
it's
little bit of the
not
demo. It's actually
Do
pretty.
we need an
Right.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
No,
God damn
no,
it.
but I will. I will.
I just
Oh, for
like
real,
how
that's
they're.
a damn good game, only for the pirate
So
shit.
we were
Fuck the
supposed to be
story.
talking about slime, but that never happened. So I guess
I
We were
thought
trying
slime
to
was-
fix shit, and then we just kept going on.
We- in the
Yeah.
space until you
I
get
don't know.
it.
I thought you were fixing something.
I
I was trying to
mean,
fill
Good
in air.
time.
I needed y'all to talk about slime while I was fixing shit.
Well, okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about
What-
slime, man.
I
Fucking
think.
A,
Political green.
Walter
The polit-
P99, that's quite the handgun there.
Hold on.
I know.
Well, actually, I did put that the actual what that gun looked like in the chat.
Yes.
I know.
Guys.
My question is how the fuck did you get it?
Well,
Isn't she
somebody
from
in the chat raised an important question where
Guys,
it's like,
guys,
how do
we
they
will get
know
that
what it
answer
is?
next week.
I guess that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
They
Sure.
don't, but only Rimuru does. He explains a little bit of it.
No, that was Raphael though. Raphael was explaining what it was.
yeah.
No. He explained the bullet, what the bullet was to them. I know it was
Gee,
the only
the
bit of it I
red
read.
Gee, Raphael.
Yeah.
How does Raphael know? Wow, could Raphael be connected to the words of the world? Gee,
And almost
That's
how
the
could the
thing.
world?
So it's like,
How could the world possibly know about what firearms are? Oh, it's like maybe, perhaps. Gee, I don't know. There may be other worlders who are summoned that might possibly, maybe
these pretzels are making me
Guns.
thirsty.
have
I'm
weapons
gonna stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
that
Mm.
needs more cowbell.
Hello,
no.
it's me,
no,
Christopher Ronan.
Christopher.
Hello, it's me, Mr.
Christopher
Gaben
Robin.
over here.
Oh my god.
Damn it, man.
All right. So anyway,
Look, I'm just saying. Look,
I'm
we
just saying.
hired
I'm
this
just
man.
saying, guys.
We need to
Guys.
get Palpy in here.
Guys. There's more than one. There's more than one person in this world that has firearms available.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It's the
Yeah, yeah.
entire Rozos and everyone else.
There's a lot of people.
So
there's a
their
lot of
arms
people.
are literally made of fire?
There are
Yes.
other worlders.
Oh my
there are
God.
other worlders that were summoned to this world that came to this world with
He's just
firearms.
ignoring me.
And
You know,
yeah.
you know, this is a weird question,
That
but I'm
having been
wondering
said,
if, like,
Good night, everybody.
Oh,
yeah, good
bye-bye.
night. everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Bye,
coming.
Gaben.
That pun was so
Jesus.
I gotta get one
terrible.
more
I'm
out.
ending the stream. Bye.
No,
And-
fingerprints.
Bye.
I don't think so.